And welcome back to Scout Tech, everyone. Today's episode, we got Tarkov news, getting a recap on what's happening within the community. Big major drama alert debacle, 80s controversy. We're going to talk about the another common W from BSG. Giga has finished Scappa. Talk about his adventures, what got let him there, his experiences, emotions, etc. Naquan closed demo impressions. I have a chance to play that game for a couple of hours, a little bit more. Talk about that. Steam Next Fest demos. Got some games I want to share with you all. Some pretty cool ones and crazy ones. You know how I like it. And then Marathon. Kind of mid, in my opinion. We'll talk about that too.
Cool. Let's start straight away with the news of the week, ADS controversy. Oh my word. So BSG put out a video and a little bit of text as well saying, "Hey guys, it's finally it. You know, we've done the thing we wanted to do with aiming." So, I mean, the video itself says new reworked realistic non-linear aiming. And Nikita literally says, "Here we go. Smiley face. Always wanted to have this approach to aiming in EFT because right now it's unrealistic and linear. We will refine it more and test it first in ETS." It's got 3.3 million views, this video.
Whoa.
On Twitter. Bit of a banger from old Nikita. And that is because I would say approximately 97% of the community is against this change. Or at least what was in the video. It's rare that you'll see the community this universally synchronized in hating a change. The last time, and probably only time, that we saw this level of cohesion within the player base was probably the Unheard Edition scandal.
I remember. Classic.
And before then, there probably wasn't anything that got everybody together on one side. There are a few people in the woodwork going, "I like my tactical realistic simulator to look a certain way." So there are some people like that, but it's a very small minority. And the player base kind of, which is usually divided into two camps. You've got like the gameplay people, who I would say I'm one of those people, saying that why would you add a random bump into the ADS animation that doesn't have anything to do with your mouse? So this is one of those things where realism versus immersion, we'll just take the realism thing and park it to one side for a moment, but assuming that the system is realistic just for 1 second, for argument's sake, sometimes making a system realistic doesn't necessarily make the game more immersive. It actually can make the game less immersive, because you have to remember, or at least the devs have to remember, that we're interfacing with our character through the medium of a bunch of keys and a plastic keyboard and a mouse with an XY coordinate, right? And so there's a certain level of abstraction that needs to happen between the character model and the world and the universe and like the input device. And so immersion typically comes from when you try to do things in the game and then those things happen. And when you break the control of the player away from the character, that tends to feel bad because your character's not doing the thing that you expected it to do when you told it to do the thing. Because the character is supposed to be you. That's the idea, right? The interface is just a necessary evil in the way. You know, ideally you'd plug in with a matrix jack and, you know, your brain would directly control the character, but we're obviously not there yet. Give it maybe about 18 months, given the progression of things. But at least at this moment in March 2026, we've not all been subverted into the hive mind yet, so we still have to use a mouse and keyboard. And so with that being said, I mean, that's the thing. It's like the fact that you right click at the moment and your character, it doesn't mean that everything has to be instantaneous, right? But things have to be sort of at least like predictable and act in a predictable way. So you right click and your character brings the weapon up, and depending on the ergonomics and the weight, it brings the weapon up to your eye line, and you kind of know what's going to happen. And you have a choice about it as well, because like, yes, there's an overswing system at the moment, but that happens with heavy guns, so you can opt out if you want. And the way it works with this is that it seems, regardless at the moment of what the ergo is, you have this sort of strange little bump, as I said in the animation, which, like, if you slow it down, I slowed it down on my stream quite a bit, and the aim point lowers quite significantly and then comes back up again. And it's just going to make ADSing onto targets in clutch moments really, really hard, because it's a little bit like the old recoil system where oh, but your player, like your PMC is controlling for the recoil. And so you then have to counter control the recoil because it doesn't control for it perfectly, right? Otherwise the gun wouldn't move at all. So in the old system, it used to do that thing where you had to like pull down at the beginning and then push back up at the end to get it to work. And that just led to such weird feelings in the aiming system. This is a bit like that. When you ADS, you're going to have to do like a micro adjustment up as the aim comes in and then move it back down again to counteract what your players, like what your character is doing. Like,
even if you bother to even go that far, I imagine half the people won't even bother doing all that extra
well, yeah,
work.
I mean, for most, if you don't do that, it's just going to feel bad.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you're going to be shooting while you're trying to ADS and you're going to shoot them in the foot or something because like the bullets go where the gun is pointed in this game. I mean, I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, so I guess it's just so many people who are saying that they don't like it. Okay, so anyway, that's the gameplay side. Yeah, let me backtrack and remind myself where I was in my argument structure. The other side, and these two parts of the community usually go head to head. You got the realism group of the community who also say they don't like it because it doesn't look like when they actually use real guns in real life. And I have seen some arguments within the realism community with people trying to argue that the bump is about wearing tactical military clothing and moving, going from one position to another and moving the stock out so it doesn't catch on, straps or pocket pouches or whatever, right? Like maybe. But most people have said, nah, this isn't it. Like, and that's the thing is, you're not the character. You don't know where the pockets are. You've got nothing to do with the straps or anything. That's not in. That's not modeled. Like, there's no way to control that. It's just, it doesn't. The game doesn't need this. I don't think this will make it feel good. And also, one thing that I've been warning people, because there's quite a few people who I spoke to in the comments saying like, the little bump in ADS, is that really what everyone's complaining about? And I'm like, the problem is that if you can see it, when you try to play it, it'll probably feel 10 times as bad. Because like a lot of the time you can't, when you watch somebody play, it's like if you watch somebody play EFT who's skilled, they make the movement system look like it doesn't exist, right? If you try to play EFT, it's actually very difficult to pull off what they pull off because they're using like micro timings and they understand the exact cadence of like jumping versus running versus, swinging their aim around so they can move from one place to another and carrying momentum through sprints and all sorts. There's lots of different things going on. But whereas if you're just watching, you won't notice that stuff happening. Especially if there's like, micro bumps to, it's like watching somebody get aim punched and actually like trying to play and getting aim punched. Like those two things are night and day.
Yeah.
You obviously notice it a lot more when you're actually in control of the character. So I have suspect that this is going to feel 10 times worse when we actually use it. So pretty much everybody is against this change, at least in its current format. There have been some, we talked about it a lot on the stream, had lots of different opinions. There have been some interesting takes on this, which is, I mentioned Overswing before, and that was for a specific reason, was that Overswing does feel kind of rubbish. This system, if this replaced Overswing, that would actually be okay. That would kind of make sense. Like, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like a better animation than the Overswing animation. It's more like realistic, a bit more immersive. For like, if you're using an RPD, which is 10 kilograms or an SVD or something, then maybe that's actually all right. Kind of feels like it suits those guns, but it doesn't suit the super snappiness of like a Vector with a red dot on it, for example. It just doesn't.
Yeah, that was one thing that struck me really odd when I looked at it. Was like it was like just like they added a tax across the board, like a flat tax across the board, and it was like they're showing these different ergo things, and I'm like, where's the difference? I mean, I guess you could see a difference in on the low ends with the RPD. Like, okay, yeah, that is super exaggerated. Like, I just cut it back to like 1x speed or whatever. I'm gonna just click the wrong one. He like throws the gun up and it like bobs into place and like bounces twice almost. Like, okay. But then in the Vector, I was just like, because I don't know what the highest ergo one, but it's just like, I don't know. It's like the, I guess maybe it's just sped up a little bit, but you still get the same height of the bump and whatnot. It's just kind of weird. And I suspect, I'm sorry, kind of like interjecting in the middle of your argument. I suspect whoever did this looked at it and was like, yeah, this looks so cool. Like cinematic, like we're going to take this animation and like grab the player camera and like look how smooth and bobby this is. It's like, but yeah, I mean, it just, everyone, well, a lot of people realize like, yeah, this is gonna play like shit.
Yeah. So yeah, so I'm sort of like, my take on it right now is that yeah, if they want to put it in, they could do, but I think they just need to, once you get to about 50 ergo, I think it needs to go away completely, and it needs to be like the old system. Like almost the worst part of this video is because they've got the old system and or the current system and the new system side by side. You watch their animation, you're like, ooh, that looks kind of rough, and then it goes like, here's how it is right now, and you're like, damn, that looks so good. Like, I don't want you to change it. Please leave it
Yeah,
alone.
that's the other weird thing. It's like, who asked for this? No one. So I don't really like. This comes off as like, we hate meta. Let's make. You know what I mean? It's like you're no longer allowed to ADS and shoot. You have to wait 2 seconds before you're allowed to shoot. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like I can imagine Nikita watching, I don't know, Trey or someone be like, oh my god, I can't believe he just ADS and shot that guy. That's so cringe. No more, no meta, no more ADS and shooting instantly. You have to wait two whole seconds. I don't know. It's
Yeah, you have to be like held in a position. You're not allowed to like scoot, run, and shoot. Yeah, it's just odd, isn't it?
but this is the other thing too. And the last thing I'll say, at least in part for now, is taking the realism angle argument, because our guns are like being held on our shoulders already when you're like point firing. They're in like the high ready position, I think is like the technical term. They're not in the low ready. They're not like hip firing as you would say. They're in the high ready. So like, and I guess they're not necessarily on the shoulder per se. I don't know. I don't know how you would interpolate that. I think they are on the
I
shoulder.
think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think they are. Yeah, I think they are, because
all
if
you're
you
doing
think
is
about, like, the tests
tilting
that
your
I've done-
head. Yeah, you're tilting your head and
Mhm.
you're lifting the gun up, and that's in first person camera. It's being interpolated, but so yeah, this doesn't make sense for the bump. But like, it would have been better if they were like, okay, we're gonna introduce this new system, and it's like stances. Like here's if you're gonna ADS this way, then you have to pay this penalty. But you get these. Something interesting. Like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm kind of like just riffing off of realism update or realism mod type of
I
stuff.
think you're right though.
But like, yeah, they could have done like a low ready, high ready, and had something like that. Now, that would have been cool. But I don't know what this is.
Yeah, because then it's like, oh, if you want to go from low ready to ADS, you can, but you have to pay the bump penalty.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if you want to be in high ready, well, then you can't run.
You get sure, yeah. Or you
You're
drain.
going to be not as
Drain a
you're
little
going to
bit
drain some
standing.
stamina.
Yeah.
Or at least not go up stamina. Yeah, like drain stamina over time and be probably a little bit slower, but you're more ready to go into ADS if you need to.
Yeah, like it's a quick. You can even make it a quicker ADS if you want to. Like, I don't know, like just anything.
Yeah, that's
anything
trade-offs, right?
interesting.
Like that's the thing. That's trade-offs, not just like we're gonna make ADSing suck, right? I think that's why people see the system and just go, "Why, guys? Like, stop it." Yeah. Pretty odd. So anyway, there was mega backlash. Nikita followed up afterwards, and said, "Guys, understood, and got all the feedback related to the work in progress changes to aiming. Take it easy. There'll be another iteration, and there'll be an ETS test first. If you'll still not like it, then I'll double down and add it ASAP." I'm kidding.
Is he though? Is he though?
Just let it be seen and tested first with the new changes to balance it out. Hopefully it will add more immersion and you will like it. Don't worry, it's being done by a single team member and me.
That makes I don't like what? That doesn't really bring me any
Well, it's funny really, because so airing underneath this said the sense of humor here is amazing, yet some folks will quote it like he's serious. Which the only thing that I think he's joking about is I will double down and add it ASAP. I'm just kidding, right? I think he's saying, don't worry, it's being done by a single team member and me. I think that's trying to be reassuring. That's my understanding of it. He's basically saying like,
as well.
Yeah, like, don't worry, guys. Like, this isn't just being done by some random member of the team or whatever. Like, I'm looking at this myself, so I'm going to make sure that that people like it at least.
Which doesn't bode confidence in me.
Yeah,
to be fair, but.
But it is funny. It's like various comments like, "Please save yourself the time and effort and just don't implement this." And he said, "Okay, sir." So I was like, "You're working on animation. Can I completely understand? What about ammo reloading raid? Maybe quickly abort and throw away medkits like a slaver. Well, there's still so many interesting ideas. Why not start there?" He said, "We're already working on mag loading animations and med item abort animations."
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
I
weird.
don't
It
know.
is weird. But like the weirdest part is like they're working on it, and then someone, I don't know who makes the decision, but someone's like, "We should post about this, guys," and they go and showcase it, and everyone's like, puking and like throwing out, like
Yeah,
scratching their eyes out, like, "Please God, do not add this." It's so weird,
yeah.
It's so weird.
I mean, that's the thing. It does feel like Nikita posted this thing and thought like, oh, everyone's gonna like,
This is the
we really
coolest
cooked
fucking
here.
shit.
Yeah. And as you see, everyone's just like, like vomiting and like everything. You go down the street, and everyone's just like violently being sick. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah,
I love Tarkov. It just always delivers so much.
it
It's
does.
it's so
The thing
good.
is, right? This could be, and I'm not kind of like, I don't want to stand on the sort of creator master race pedestal because I don't think that's usually very
Sure.
good. But I feel like they maybe need to have like a little just random panel sample of a few people just being like, "Do you think this is a good idea? Like, what are your like initial? What's your taste test on this thing?" Just to get a sense of what might happen
Yeah.
because like
I mean,
they
something.
quite often seem to just not really understand the temperature.
Well, it's just weird because like it's like I don't know. It's like they don't really take into consideration like player feedback. I'm sure is ranked somewhere offender, you know, BSG hierarchy of values. I'm sure it's somewhere in there, but it's definitely not near the top. I don't even know if it's in the middle, but it's I would be I think it wouldn't be fair to say it's, not even on the hierarchy. It's like got to be just under the middle. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's somewhere in there, but it's not that high. And it's like they have ETS, but like ETS is more like, hey, find the bugs and also, at least my understanding, find the bugs and also like, give us feedback. You know, they don't have like that secret branch of, the hush hush, unless they do. And I don't know. I mean, who knows anymore?
no, like ETS is usually the most boring crap ever. It's normally like, we're reworking the messaging system. Could you like send each other a DM, please? It's like,
Yeah, it's like
it's
bug
usually that
testing,
kind of
I
thing. It's like really
guess.
lame. Yeah, like the only time that it was ever good was, in my opinion, was the recoil rework one. That was the only time that it was ever really good because he went through multiple rounds of feedback. They like updated ETS like 4 times and got people's feedback on different. They had like, and there was like a ETS, yeah, because it's an ETS Discord, and they in there they had like every gun, and so you could put down feedback about like every individual weapon. Like it was sick. It
Huh.
was so well organized. And then the recoil rework came out, and it was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that
And
definitely
that genuinely, since the original Twitch drops blow up of the game, was probably the next most popular time EFT has ever been.
mm,
Was after that recall rework. So like it can have a dramatic impact on the game. That recall rework single-handedly propelled that wipe into like one of the wipes of all time because
yeah,
of
as the
how good it
previous
was.
wipe
Going from like
was
the going from like the pistol pivot recoil to actual like proper recoil, everyone came back and played it.
yeah.
Everybody. And it was just like, holy, this game's so much more playable. It's so much better. Like
Hmm.
random tangent actually, like after playing like a few different like other games,
Yeah.
and then coming back to Tarkov after like a week, like some sort of small parts of it, it's just like maybe it's partly comfort, but it's quite like some of the little things like you shoot with the M4 and like the way that the round, like the way it sounds, the way the gun sounds, like
Hmm.
the casings like tinkling on the floor. It's just like, oh, that's so much like this part of this game that does just like tickle my brain in a special way. But there's so much to this. But yeah, they seem like dead set on just like changing stuff that doesn't seem to really be needing to change. I don't, especially with all the balancing stuff last week, and it's like this ADS thing. It's like the balancing guys and the animators don't seem to have enough to do, so they've got to like make up some work for them. Maybe I don't know. Like the bug fix guys are like the true bottleneck to EFT. So it's just like you should fix that. You should fix the bugs. It's like what I said last week. You should fix the bugs rather than doing all this stuff. And it's like, oh well, the animators aren't the ones fixing the bugs. Forever. It's like, well, what are they doing then? Oh well, they got to justify them being there somehow. Otherwise, like I don't know. Seems a bit strange.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it because it's like, is someone just like, is it Nikita directly, my little like mock scenario where he's like, I gotta like change because this is just like a straight up nerf to shooting your gun. Like if you want to be like a very
Yeah.
purist gameplay about it, it's like shooting guns is now bad while ADSing. Um,
Yeah.
or win ADSing, I guess. But I just like I can't, it's not like a new system that has trade-offs and, it's just like a straight up tax. It's just I don't understand. I can't wrap my hand. Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the main controversy. I'm interested to see what they come up with. They know that this is
Yeah.
not well received right now, so they're going to have to work hard on implementing their vision whilst not annoying everybody.
Yeah.
So we will see. The other piece of big talk of news is a new event. This popped up yesterday, I think, actually, and it starts with a new quest line called Bulldogs Under the Rug. It's a peacekeeper quest line, and he is annoyed with a man called Edward. is the long and the short of it. Some guy is cramping his style, and it sounds like he's, I don't know, some NATO UN guy of some description. But he's trying to do something, I don't know. But anyway, so this event is like a smugglers event. So you have to go to so he's like recruiting these locals who are the smugglers. The smugglers, they kind of look like, I don't know, they kind of look like raiders, I guess. One of them they've got pretty good helmets. They tend to have like good gear and then bad ammo. They're basically like class 5 armor, decent helmets like exfils and whatever it's called, the other one. I can never remember the high AT helmets because no one ever uses them because they're so expensive and they're just the same as the ULAC's better than normally. But yeah, you know which ones I mean, the ones that can take the visors. And you have to go, the original first bit, you have to eliminate a smuggler on any location because they're spawning on pretty much every map, I think. Not factory in those ones, but all the regular maps. Locate the smuggler's camp on your shoreline, which is smuggler's camp. I was just like, surely not, but it is. And obtain evidence of the smuggler's ties to Edward. And there's like a document on one of the tables. And then once you hand that in, then two things are basically happening. Airdrops are coming in on all the maps with... You remember that time when we had the old weapons crates, like the locked weapons crates in the airdrops?
Yes.
So you'd loot it, and there was two, like, they look like weapons cases, but they're actually like a locked case of some kind. Those are now dropping, and there's some normal crates in there as well. There's like a smuggler's case in there too. There was another... I remember it now that I've done it. There was another event where there was like a case and you had to unlock the case, and then like these like little smaller packages were inside the case, something like that. But they brought that back as well. So those are in the airdrops. I opened one already. People are like, "Oh, it's so good! I've got like, AXMC with like 338 AP, and then in this one I've got like M993 with. I opened mine. I got freaking 2 umps and a stack of 45 AP. I was like, no. And then it turns out you need 3 of them for the quest. I was just like, God damn it! I shouldn't have opened it. Never mind.
No.
But anyway, it turns out that's not the hardest part. So you need one of the locked smugglers' cases and a key to the locked case. They're on the smugglers themselves, but you can buy the keys on the flea. And you give that to Peacekeeper. And then you have to kill 25 smugglers, which is quite annoying because there's only 3 per raid. So that does actually take quite a while. Obtain and hand over 3 contraband boxes and 3 locked smugglers' weapons cases. So you get a craft in the hideout. That allows you to unlock the contraband boxes, like the smugglers' little cases. The weapons cases can be unlocked normally, but I think you just have to... You have to keep them locked and then give them in to Peacekeeper before you unlock any more. And that's the one I'm on at the moment because, yeah, eliminating 25 smugglers is a bit of a pain. But this gives a spear and 200 SIG hybrid, which is kind of cool.
200, wow.
Yeah, so we're going to see a few spears around, I think, because you can't buy the spear at the moment on the flea or anything like that. And then there's a new quest. So that was it for a bit. Then there's a new quest now where you have to obtain 10 of the locked smugglers' weapons cases. Oh my god. Okay, so don't open any of them. Keep them all. I haven't seen these yet because these only came through today. They were on a time gate. And then stash 10 contraband boxes near a green shipping container on the sawmill at Woods. So the trick to this is you can bring down your own airdrops using the red flare. So you don't need to wait for the actual one in raid. You can bring your own one in, which means you can do it kind of more in safety. If you don't have any red flares, but you do have arena, you can buy the red flare cartridge from Ref and put it in the flare pistol. That's another option. Otherwise, you can just try and farm scavs to get enough, or just wait for them because I think they're coming at least once per raid, something like that. To go and get those things. I don't think that's necessarily too bad. The stashing sounds quite annoying, but you can put them in your secure container, so you could do it 2 at a time, I guess, if you have theta, epsilon, whatever. Yeah, at the moment, like killing 25 of these damn smugglers is like the most annoying part. Because as I said, that takes a while. That's going to take you at least 8 raids if you kill all of them every single raid.
And they're only on Shoreline Smugglers Camp.
No, they're actually on multiple maps.
Oh, okay. That was just the quest. Got it.
Yeah. So right now they are on. I wonder if it says there was something on the wiki where it showed where they all were. Oh yeah, here we go. So Interchange, apparently they can spawn around the smugglers camp on Interchange, which makes sense, as well as Power Station. Shoreline, they can spawn at Power Station on Shoreline, as well as the smugglers camp, which is that one up by the car exfil. Then you've got Woods, they can spawn at Scav Bunker, or the little set of crates near it, or at the main Woods sawmill. Actually, you know what? I wonder whether multiple spawning at the same time, because I've seen them every single time. I've been to Scout Bunker and found them twice. I wonder if they're spawning there and the main camp, or whether I just got lucky. I don't know. They spawn on Customs in Big Red and around Pocket Watch, which is always hilarious. Lighthouse in the Armored Train area, right at the top of the map, and also Lower Chalet. And then Streets of Tarkov, apparently they're in the Stylobate building, where Collentine, his gang would be, and also around a cinema. So that's currently where they are. So Customs, Woods, Shoreline, Interchange, Lighthouse, Streets of Tarkov, and apparently Ground Zero, level 21 plus, but there's not a map for that on the wiki. At least not one that I could see. But they're probably around TerraUwU building, I would have thought. I would guess. So that's kind of cool. That's happening right now. The smugglers are kind of fun, although from a distance, like their ammo is not very good. Thank God, because I ran up to them the other day, and they will engage you at range like Tarkov AI often does. I didn't get killed by them, so that's a blessing.
Yeah.
But I got peppered from a distance is probably the way I would describe it, into oblivion. And thank God I had a classics plate on, because it was just like it was like 10 out of 50 by the time I managed to like escape and get around the edge of a hill. And they were everywhere, and then they were hiding themselves. It was such pain. But yeah, the PvP on Shoreline was insane, actually. I had like multiple moments where I got like pushed into like doing crazy stuff. I was trying to go and get the document, and then there was a guy, so I went around the edge, but then there was another guy shooting at me from like far away, so I went inside, but then there was another guy inside the building, and then a team of 2 like appears from and I was just like, this is like too many people. It's like it felt like it felt like trying to play. What's quite funny though is because it's at the Shoreline like smuggler base, the arena event at Christmas did actually help quite a bit, because it was like a lot of it was in the smuggler's base, right? It's like not somewhere where you really get that much PvP.
Oh, I
you do
see,
get some
yeah.
sometimes. And so I was like, I feel like I'm playing arena, like this is crazy. And I was like running around, and I took a Val as well, so I was just like running around. And when I was spawning in and like running over there, I was like, I actually regret taking this now, because I've like got to get in there somehow with this Val. Like this is like I've got to like cross open fields with a freaking Val with a EOTech on it. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, yeah, so I got in and just got pushed into this corner, and ended up like fighting 2 different guys. I think I killed 2 and I ended up just getting hosed, is the only way to put it, by a man with FMJ in an RPK, and he just didn't stop shooting. Classics plate, they're not going to save you. He had like the trashiest ammo ever. I got hit like 24 times, but I was like running and reloading, and it's just like the guy, he was just like, and I just slowly chipped away and crumbled. But it's been pretty fun, actually. I've had like some insane moments. There was one that was quite atmospheric. People in chat were saying like, this is quite cool, actually. I ended up killing this guy in the smugglers camp. If you're coming to it from like where the car exfil is, there's like a big sort of trench. There's like a water-filled sort of trench from that side. He was down there, and I killed him, and he killed somebody else already, and there was actually 3 bodies in there.
Oh my God, I was gonna say like chain reaction was going on. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. And it looked like it was almost set up, like the way that the people were. It was like they all looked like almost pre-scripted. It was like kind of cool. And so I looted these guys. It took me ages, and I ended up with like 65 kilos or something. It was like packing everything in, suppressors, had like 4 scopes on me, like just insane. And then I like walked up to the top, and then there was another guy behind the rock, and I killed him as well. I was just like, what is going on? This is like just mental. So it's been quite fun. Alongside that, there's another part to the event, which is like wild. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the quest line, but all the bosses are on reserve. Just They're just all there, all of them.
Just all boss. Okay.
Yeah, it's like complete carnage. Like I only played. I went in with for one scav raid just to kind of see what the deal was, and it spawned me in with like 13 minutes left, and it was still a war zone when I spawned in with like no time remaining. But the problem is I've got 5.5 scav rep, and I was like, I'm just going to get shot on sight by all the guards, all the bosses, and I can't shoot them back because I'll lose my rep. So I was like, actually, I kind of regret coming here. I should probably have gone as PMC, really, just to hear like how chaotic it is. Because apparently, like all the bosses are like killing all the scavs, all the AI scavs spawn in, all the bosses are there. You've got Caban and and Killer just like drum magging off.
Are they all up top?
Killing all the scavs? Like I think so, yeah. And they're all in different buildings. Apparently it's just like the first like 5 to 10 minutes is just total carnage from what I've been told. But I didn't get a chance to do it because I was trying to do the rest of this quest line. But yeah, if you want to go and do Snowball, which is the one where you have to kill all the bosses without dying, and you could play multiple raids, but this is the time to do it, when they add all the bosses in one location. So if you want to get Snowball achievement on PvE or PvP, this is normally how people do it, is when they put all the bosses on one map, because it still counts usually. And I mean, it's a good place if you want to go geared and kill a bunch of people and go out like completely looted. This is like a good way of doing it as well. So yeah, fun. It's been all right, actually. It's been quite fun. Been enjoying myself playing EFT recently.
It's cool. I know a lot of people like that weapon crate event. Makes sense. It's like it's like even if you're coming in late, it's like, I mean, you just loot one crate, extract with it. I kind of like that system too. It's kind of, I don't know. I can't constantly flip back and forth between that idea, whether like you loot something and you have to bring it out, and then it like, pops up with like a pinata of like gear, or is it like you loot it and then it's like you can use it instantly? Because there's just another game recently I played, Extraction, that had something similar, and I was like, I don't know if I like this or if I do like that. I can't remember, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat, and it's like you don't know what you're gonna get, and the loot density in there is really high because it's only 2 by 5 or something, and you get loads more than that out of it, and things that you can't buy, like M993 and whatever. It's like it's kind of neat for like a late-ish game type thing, which is sort of where we are, like with all the Twitch drops and everything. Most people are running around with Class 6, and with the RAM barters and whatnot, it's pretty sweaty out there, I will say. I've resorted to, I guess we'll just do a quick chat about guns, because like last week my brain was just bamboozled because people were going like asking me, what about this gun and what about this gun, and I'm just like, guys, I don't know. Like all my like internal rules of thumb about what's good on what weapon, like you kind of forget after a while. Like the game stays the same for so long, and I've done so many videos about so many guns. People say, what about the MCX? I'm like, oh yeah, you use this and this, and the AK-12 you use this and this, you use the M4 and you've got all these choices, and the AK you probably use these lot. And people go like, what about the AK-12 now? And I'm just like, I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't looked at the AK-12 yet specifically, so I don't know which particular combinations of things, because like each gun has got its own set of muzzle attachments that work or not, and now the AK-12's got adapters, so you can put different like 545 suppressors on it. I actually think it's funny. Actually, I was thinking the AK-12 is actually quite balanced. Like the suppressors are really, really, really low on ergo now. They kind of force you to make some quite hard choices. I think it's quite good. I think where 556 is where it's not that well balanced, because you're basically using a suppressor like all the time. There's no real disadvantage to use one still on 556, but on 545 I think there is. But yeah, I mean, with everybody so geared, you kind of can't, like even 556 people feel pretty squishy. So unless you've got M995, which is not accepted, you can't make it or anything. So it's kind of hard. So I resorted back to 7.62 NATO, but all of those guns are really bad now. That the AK-308 they're not really bad, but just the recoils are a lot more than they were. AK-308, you can't get under 100 recoil now at all. Like same thing, like the Shorty Foul can't either. The MDR is now 98 recoil or something.
Because in essence, every gun gets less recoil reduction, and maybe some ergo increase depending, or the same or increase
depending. Yeah. The ergo's kind of here, like it's all around. It's not consistent, I would say, depending on kind of how it was previously and what was accessible. But yeah, the recoil across the board is like nerfed a bit. I don't think it's necessarily bad, because those the 308 guns are like amazing. You know, they fire
Yeah.
M80A1. You can craft it. Like they're really really good. But it's just I've been trying to figure out like what's good, and I've gone back to the Scar in the end. I think you can now get the
Which
Scar still
scar?
gets to the
The-
Scar H still gets to like mid 80s, like low 80s on recoil, which stands quite far ahead on full
yeah.
auto than the others, and it's low RPM. So
What
it kind of
stock are
depends on
you
what you
using on
want.
it?
I'm using because the thing about the Scar is it has its own one, so I'm using the
Yeah.
VS11
Okay, so
plus the
that one's
cheek pad thing.
still
So that
good.
one's still kind of okay. Yeah, I haven't compared it like for like against the others, but yeah, because it's like Scar specific, I have a feeling that maybe those parts got a little bit of a bit less of a harsh treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, so I've been using that. You know, you can get the 50 rounder on the X17 version, which every time I haven't taken the 50 rounder, I've regretted it. I ran into a 4-man on reserve, which I was like, what? And they were like all up in my grill, and they like didn't shoot me straight away because they didn't know who was who. But
Yeah,
I was
classic.
reloading
Yeah.
because I only had 20 rounds, and they're like running everywhere. So it's like hard to hit them. Like one guy like tanked like crazy. They were really weird. It was like the guy was like wearing nothing and then like a killer helmet. It's like really bizarre raids. Like I've been having really odd raids recently, like lots of strange clips. But if I had the 50, I think I probably would have just killed all of them. But with
Hmm.
the 20, I didn't actually manage to kill a single one of them. You know what I mean? It's like
That's
there's
rough,
that
yeah.
threshold where yeah, it was like one of the guys. Yeah, it was like the guy yesterday who like ambushed me by the rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like he died because of the 50 rounder. And I think maybe even the guy in the trench too, because you know you fire off your set and you're like slugging at each other, and like some of the shots being absorbed by class 6, and then
Yeah.
like they run out of ammo, and you're just like just mouse one down the rest of your mag, and it's just like you just don't stand a chance against such firepower one on one. It's crazy. So yeah, so the Scar's like really good. I use the FAL a little bit, but it's like you can use it at close range, but it's hard to control. The AK-308, like even if you're like remotely zoomed in, it's hard to control that recoil and actually hit them with 50% or greater of the bullets. But
Mm.
maybe that's okay. You know, it's firing through full auto from standing. I mean,
Yeah, I
I
see
don't
what you're
know. I think
saying.
maybe it's okay. It's like, I don't know, there's a trade-off there between like the NL545, the AK-12, the M4 versus like this is always kind of the issue is that you could just 4 times mag dump somebody with a 308 platform rifle, and that just kind of invalidated the intermediate cartridges.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now, you know, the recoil's maybe a bit more balanced. Like I genuinely don't think the recoil nerf on the bigger guns is necessarily the end of the world. I really don't,
Hmm.
actually. So I've just been trying to navigate it, but I think that the Scar's still good. As people have said, they're like, yeah, BSG next patch, they should make the Scar even bigger on your screen. It's like, oh my, should make it even larger. You just lose like 25% of your screen on the right hand side. It's the penalty that you take for good recoil. So yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. It's been fun. I like figuring everything out again. But yeah, I don't know. I think the balancing stuff. We'll see what they do on the next pass because they've got barrels and that stuff coming up next.
Yeah.
I do think they've reduced some of the fun of seeing somebody's meta gun and being like, "Oh, I know this is worth money, and I can sell the SE5 for this, and I can sell the
Mm-hmm.
Growl for that, and I can sell the the buttstock for this." Now it's like, everything's like not really. I don't really care. I'll take the scope or whatever because I can make it like an equivalent gun for not much, and people aren't buying those parts for very much anymore. Just I think it takes a bit of the wind out of the sails of killing someone in
Yeah, no, I
PvP.
get you. I get you. We'll see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've always kind of wanted to play Tarkov where like the weapon balance was like very wide, and so like you could. I mean, you can't. It's so hard. Conceptually, it's really hard to work because at the end of the day, it's just like the most derivative Tarkov formula is like big bullet, fast fire rate. It's like DPS and then recoil and then like there's sort of like a hierarchy of values for like eliminating someone. And a lot of times at the top of that is just like big bullet, do big damage. But
Mm.
imagine like you looted someone's like you killed 2 guys, and one guy's AK is like, I don't know, for example, like the smoothest recoil ever, but it has like some drawbacks. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mm.
know, something goofy. Like the reload speed is like takes forever. You know, the ADS isn't great. You know, I don't know what else you could do.
Yeah.
And then the other one's like just like this super like smooth, like snappy gun. You know, it's got like crazy laser gadgets on it, but it's like not great recoils. You got like single tap it at like range or something, but like up close it's good. But like you know what I mean? You can't really
Mm.
in the current Tarkov landscape. You doesn't really work because at the end of the day it's just like it's gun, it shoots straight. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you can't do any like quirky stuff like that without breaking like you know going completely
Everything.
out there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So last talk of thing, we've got some random clips from Nikita.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the usual stuff that he posts, teases and whatnot. What we got in this guy? So this is that one's the Ash 12 pistol, right? The RSH. There's like a what is that? Like skin thing for maybe the new boss.
Yeah, like a texture for the face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got like a kind of a like a sort of handlebar mustache type thing going on. Looks like it because we don't know anything about this new boss. There's a new boss on the roadmap. We don't know about this. Like yeah, bit of gear. What's that one? Snowmobile type thing. Potassium iodide tablets. Well, that's interesting because you take those before. Well, if you think that there's like a radiation event coming,
Mm. Mm.
because the issue that people have with like low levels of radiation is iodine isotopes, which get. I'm doing this from memory, so forgive me if I'm wrong on this, but you have iodine isotopes which come out of like nuclear reactors or whatever, like basically just like fissile material, create these radioactive isotopes of iodine,
Mm.
which the body can't differentiate, obviously, because it's a nuclear change, not a chemical change, and it absorbs the iodine, the radioactive iodine, into your thyroid gland and gives you thyroid cancer as the iodine slowly decomposes over time with its half-life. So you take the potassium iodide instead to flood your system with non-radioactive iodine so that your thyroid doesn't take up the radioactive iodine
Wow, that's cool. I never knew that.
instead, and it protects your thyroid from getting cancer, is the deal. I think it was in that Chernobyl program.
Mm-hmm.
That like people need to be taking this stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise everyone's gonna just be like riddled with cancer. It's gonna be horrible. Okay, what else? There's like so there's like a shotgun, there's a few other live action things, some more clothes. Who are these guys? It's like the guys dancing. They put a screenshot of the guys dancing before. What's that one? There's like a thing. It says FPS.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
It's like a desk, an info desk of some kind.
Yeah, like, and then there was something
Is that on the
like
icebreaker ship?
brand
Could be.
names on across the front of the desk.
Yeah, I don't know what that says. Maybe it says something in Russian. I'm not sure.
Yeah, arena map
And
maybe. I don't
then
know. That was
could
my.
be. And then there's a bunch of key cards.
It says, is that Boreas? I was almost reading Borealis, but there's no
Yeah,
Half-Life 3?
C1 Boreas.
Yeah.
I think these
Credit
must be icebreaker
cards?
cards for
Yeah.
different
Oh, yeah.
things.
This is yeah. This is like this is like up in a 3D paint program or something. There's like a gray
Yeah,
background.
it's in like Blender or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Boreas the name of the boat? Maybe. What's the
Perhaps.
ship called? Because the ship's in Cyrillic, so I can't remember. Can't remember what it says on the ship. So yeah, some just random stuff. What else have people said? Yeah, icebreaker stuff probably.
Yeah, I mean that makes sort of sense.
We don't really know. Apparently, the gun is maybe a Saiga 20, supposedly. I don't know.
Saiga 20. Ooh. Is that like a 20
We
gauge Saiga
we
shotgun?
will see. I'm not actually sure. Maybe yeah, like the TOS, right? Because the TOS has got that 20 gauge ammo, which no one uses because it only goes in the TOS.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting if the recoil was lower.
Yeah. You got that one.
Like
Isn't there like a hunting round or like a elephant hunting round? I think it is. Slug or something.
Yeah, they've had some meme ones in the past.
Yeah.
So
exploding TOS round. Remember that?
Yeah, the exploding one that was pretty funny. I think the most powerful one right now is the TSS armor piercing slug. But I mean, it's not as good as AP20. It's like 30 pen and 155 damage. That's the best one for pen, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it gives us more options.
Sure.
Kind of fun. Kind of fun. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, the other news on this is that I finally did Kappa. Finally did it. We got through everything in the end. My last task was peacekeeping mission, and I think it's just I left it because it was a bit boring. So I went around, did the blueberry stuff, the peacekeeping mission, and then all I needed was the Willer's wallet. So we spent basically 2 days back to back farming reserved mark rooms, trying to find the Willer's wallet. Made a ton of money. I had one which was absolutely insane. Did I talk about this last week? I didn't know. No, this happened within the last week. I can't have. Went into the marked room near railway, near the train station. I can't remember what the names are. It's not RBBK, it's the other one, I think. And went in there, and there was a key tool, a docs case, 3 injector cases, and a labs red card.
Oh wow!
Amongst other stuff. So it was like, I think that we totaled it all up. It was like 2.2 mil or something from that one room. I was just like, okay, it's pretty good actually, pretty good. So I did try them all in the end.
You get the Tarkov shakes. Was adrenaline pumping?
Not too much for that one actually, because I was just like, it's just cash. I was like looking for the Willer's wallet, right? I've had some crazy fights which have given me like the adrenaline pumping Tarkov recently. This last week, it's actually been really good. But yeah, I mean, just like at this point, I'm sat on like 30 mil just because of when we are in the wipe and etc. So it's like I was like, oh, this is like pretty fun. But also, like most of the stuff now, it's a bit different because most of the stuff goes in the secure container one way or another, right? You can put all the injector cases in the secure container. You can put the docs cases in the secure container. Same thing with the key tool. The red card goes in there, and there's no finding raids, so you can just sell them straight away. So there is a bit of a there have been some discussions about the cards. I think they should bring back the infinite use cards, but I think they should bring them back as their like own item. So maybe have like a little gold rim around them or something. I think they should keep the 10 use ones so you could just go in there. But I think there should be a separate item, which should be the infinite use ones, which are still like 40 mil, 50 mil, like uber rare. I think the game's like worse off for not having them. I think it's nice having those like stretch things. It's nice having things in the game that like you're just like, man, I just can't buy that. I quite like it. Even when you're at the end game, it's like, man, to have like a full set of labs key cards is like the ultimate flex. Of the infinite ones.
Yeah.
I think that would be neat. I really think they should bring that back. But because then you'd have best of both worlds. You've got this like end game like flex item for people who farm up like 1 billion rubles, but then you've also got the random chance of finding one and being like,
yeah, that's the thing, right? Even just like the elusiveness of something like that, it's like you may have like one, you may know, it's like you're in a group call and it's like, yeah, I knew this one guy last hype, he got a red key card. I was like, whoa, that's that's like the rarest item in the game. It's like that costs so much money.
Yeah. And now they cost 1 mil on the fleet. So it's not quite the same. But you want to make, I understand why they put the uses on, because you want to make the rooms accessible to more than just 0.1% of people who play the game. But I think having both would be great, because you can still buy the 10 use ones.
That's a good idea.
If you want
to
go to the room or do the quests or whatever, but then you can have the super high end ones for people who just want to flex or want to grind up the money and buy it, or play labs a lot or whatever. I think it'd be kind of neat. Like eventually it's worth it, I suppose.
Well, they had like a MasterCard, like a it's just like any Dorn Labs with a key card, just open it.
Can you imagine if there was a craft?
One to rule them all. Oh yeah, it's like collecting the Thanos stone, Infinity Stones.
Yeah, that would actually go really hard. You'd have like you have to get all of them and the infinite version of all of them, and then there's a craft.
Oh, that's so funny.
Craft them into this. That'd be sick, and it'd be like, I don't know, some like a rainbow like holographic type card.
Yeah. That's actually I actually like that version.
In any room, that would be awesome.
I like the iteration of that the most. Yeah, that would be really cool. I know, like it's
That would
that
be
one thing
awesome.
that's like 0.001% of player base is like gonna care about, and that's like totally fine because you know you get to like see those clips of the guy, you know, probably
Yeah.
Tiggs or someone, you know, it's like
Mm. Or like
collected the
Hyper or someone who grinds the money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
But the
cool
fact that
because
it's
like
like possible,
eventually,
I like it.
yeah, because like someone's gonna have that lucky that one story out of you know the friend group or someone because I've I don't think I ever played with any friends that you know got red card. But I know plenty got black occasionally back when that was like
Yeah.
you know you couldn't craft it. Like this was the old Tarkov,
Mm.
but yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hmm.
I think that'd be cool. So yeah, so anyway, so we did the Kappa thing, and so yeah, we went to the marked rooms a bunch of times, found loads of stuff, didn't find the Widow's wallet, and it's like almost a bit anticlimactic because you know I'm just trying like every possible way to do it because grinding for 2 weeks to just find this one wallet would be really annoying, and in the end it popped out of the cultist circle. Probably like it's not the most fun way that it could have happened, to be honest. So like I held it back, and then I played on stream for like 15 minutes or whatever, and then I was like, right, let's go and retrieve out the cultist circle because I saw it in there because I wanted to restart it if it hadn't come through, and I was like, I opened it up and was just like, oh, there it is. Okay, I'll wait until we're on the stream to go and do it, and then yeah, then pull Kappa out. So yeah, so now it's just doing the event. We can start playing the game now. Um, so yeah, it's just like playing the event, and then I'm going to start the story. I think it's probably what's next for me. So we'll see. Interestingly, actually, this is a side tangent I didn't think I was going to get into, but they've just done a survey today about the story. Not particularly interesting, to be honest with you, but it's just stuff like what stage of the story you're currently at, like what do you find annoying about the story, what's your experience with it so far from the tasks you've completed, etc., etc. So they're like gathering some interest about it. People have asked me which one I'm going to go for. I think I'm probably going to go for Savior, which is the best one, but apparently the most annoying task on that is kill 2 priests, and priests like hide. And they suicide with a grenade if you kill all the other cultists or something before he
Oh,
gets them.
do
There's just
they?
like some really
I didn't
annoying
know
stuff.
that.
Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, there's some,
Huh.
I don't know. I've heard some random stuff just saying like they're really difficult to kill, and obviously you got to get there first before everyone else, and
Yeah.
yada yada. So that's probably going to be like my first target. It's kind of a shame because I think the cultists are sort of 35% spawn chance at the moment, but I don't have the quests to that level, right? Because I've not done the story yet. So I don't know. So we'll see. I'll work towards it. Like I'm not desperate
Hmm.
to win the game anytime soon. You know, there's no wipe on this account, so we've got forever. So I'm just going to start trundling through and kind of see how it goes. I've not really got any concept in my head of how long it's going to take. To be honest, I don't really know. Compared to Kappa, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to take longer than Kappa. Like, so my stats for PMC for this was 492 raids, 62% survival rate, level 48. So that's the point at which I got Kappa. Which I think Kappa in under 500 raids. I think that's all right. That's relatively efficient. I think it's not too bad. So yeah, story, here we come.
Cool.
Okay, what next then? Should we
Well,
do Necron?
yeah, you remember? Do you remember Naquan? I mean, it had to have been like 2
We talked
years
about this
ago.
last week, and it was yeah. So they were releasing this closed test, and I did a promo for this closed test as well in one of
Yeah.
my videos. And I remember it, and it was cool, and I wanted to see the changes, but I simply haven't had time right now. There's like stuff going on. I've got projects
Hmm.
running. There's like things happening in the background, and there's like some things I can't talk about actually at the moment, which will like be revealed. And I've been working on shameless plug. I've been working on my merch store, which I released yesterday, and but that obviously like all the stuff behind the scenes takes longer than you would think. I've got my reserve hoodie on at the moment.
And
But
where can you get your merch from?
and where can you get it? It's gigadrip-shop.fourthwall.com. If you want to go and check it out, I'd be much appreciative. But I think it's cool stuff. But anyway, I'll be working like really hard on all these things in the background, and so I just like haven't had time. I'm just like, I just want some time to play the games. I stayed up until 2 a.m. last night doing some random stuff, and then woke back up again at like 6:30 this morning with the kids. I'm just like, I am running out of time in my life to do everything. So tell me about Nakon because I'm gonna play it a bit because I know it's only on for 4 days. God damn it!
Oh, is it only 4
But yeah,
days?
tell me.
Dang.
think so. Oh no, maybe it's a bit
Um,
longer. Maybe it's 5 days.
yeah, so I mean, it's really hard to because I feel like I might be experiencing what's that phenomenon where it's like I don't know false memories. It's like man, I remember I thought I remembered the game playing a little bit more like this or feeling like this, and but
Hmm.
um, in short, they've done a lot to really. I don't know. I quite like the game. I'm a fan of the game. It's
Uh-huh.
to describe it for those who are unfamiliar with it. It's an extraction game, third person, but it's zombie survival, and it's heavily focused on melee combat. It's set in Korea. It's by Korean devs, and um, think like Metal Gear Solid and Last of Us. This type of stuff. And the Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid stuff will make it look because it definitely there's parts of it that definitely have this sort of like Kojima, cuteness
Mhm.
factor to it. I mean, some of it is like directly inspired. But this time around there's a few things that stand out. One would be the immediately I would say was the story. There's been a lot of story injected into the game. And so now you start out there's an opening cinematic and you like get captured. Or no, sorry, you're trying to escape. Something happens. I don't, outbreak, whatever, or you get sent to the island. I can't remember. You go to the extract, you die. The this person, opens up the extract and drags you out because it's sort of like this gate that falls down, and you gotta like get in the gate or sirens that go off and whatever. And so when this person drags you out, that's when you pick your character. Because, like, in the intro cinematic, you're following this girl, and you think you're gonna be playing as like this woman or whatever, but no, she dies and becomes a zombie. Kind of comes like full
Oh,
circle. And then this guy named the broker,
damn.
yeah, it was like, oh, okay, so this is me, the player character. Oh wait, I'm a zombie. Oh, I see what they did. There's a person inside the extract that was also extracting. Um, so you build your character, face, features, all that stuff, and then this guy called the broker, he like dragged you out of the extract into like the committee, what they call the committee. It's like the communal, this place within this presumably city of Nakwon that's gone, and outbreaks happen, zombie infection. But this is like the quarantine section, the last bastion of humanity, and they're called like the committee and the government. It's this type of stuff, and you have like a citizen card. So this guy, the broker, he's basically like he's kind of like a mob boss. He comes off as like Eastern mob boss vibes, and like the writing. I really like the writing. Like, there's a lot of cool characters. There's one guy that's like getting a little ahead of myself, but he comes off as like this kind of like basically all of his quests are related to PvP. Like his first quest is like um hit someone, like deal damage to someone, and he's like,
Right.
it's gonna be fine. Like, try not to think about. Don't let your conscience bother you. Like, you know what I mean. And he's like kind of like talking to it. And he's like, we're both monsters on the inside. You know what I mean? It's like this is just human nature and stuff. So it's like I kind of. And he looks like a professional. Looks like a doctor and but like a young professional. So I don't know. It's really
Right.
interesting. Um, and the drawing too. Like a lot of the art work, I like it. I hope it's not AI generated. I didn't see anything. I'm kind of hoping it's not, but it's like watercolor almost. I don't know
Okay.
if I'm using the right adjective in description. I'm not a fine connoisseur of fine art, but it's very distinct, and you get like a lot of still images of this, and it'll like show you different locations. Like the broker when you're like taking a quest from it, it'll show like a watercolor a drawing of like an office and set in like Korea. It's cool. I really like a lot of this
Mhm.
story stuff. So they've really done a lot of that because before when I played that, there was like no story. And how it essentially
Yeah.
works is you're in the quarantine zone of Nakwon, and but you're a part of the committee, so you're part of this. You have to put in your fair share of labor to sort of like earn your keep, and you have like a citizen status, and that's as you rank that up, you get access to more things like vendors and such. But how they handle the sort of like meta story of, oh, it's an extraction game. Like, where are you? How do you get to this place? What happens when you die? Basically, it's quite clever, I think, because it fits into the culture of the real life Korea. They use like shipping containers. So when you load in, you spawn in a shipping container on a boat, like a giant ship,
Okay.
and you can and there's like a map of where you're going, and you see and this is all like physicalized in the ship inside the shipping container you're in, and you see your extracts and where you're starting, and basically it's like a preloading lobby. All the players are loading. You can look out the little like portholes of your little shipping container and see other players and stuff. It's kind of funny. And then you load in, and it cuts to like three different drawing slides of like, one is your ship on the water. Next one is like you arriving, and the committee, like the officials are like basically, you're at like a port, and they're like putting you in the sewer, like the sewer hole, where like the main hole is at. And then the next slide is like you climbing a ladder, and then you pop up and like this like another container, and now you're inside Nakwan City, and now you got to go do the things that the people back there, the different
Mm-hmm.
people quests you accepted from, and it's, I don't know, for me it's like I really appreciate a lot of that, and I think they've done a really good job onboarding players. Like the onboarding, from what I've seen, it's like it's not it's slow, you know what I mean? It's slow, like, do this simple thing, kill one
That's good,
zombie.
actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really well done. And then as everything kinda ramps up from there. And then when you come back, you gotta extract. There's 2 kind of, there's a little bit of a unique extract. There's one that is a sewer manhole you can take early. It has a limited time, and then that will take you back. If you Once that expires, then you gotta take your regular quote unquote extracts, but they're unique to you and maybe someone else. I noticed. Like I found a gate, an extract gate that was green. Like in theory, I could use it, but I couldn't like activate it. Which is kind
Oh.
of interesting because I don't know. I don't remember if it was like that before. But
Yeah, I thought everybody had unique extracts when I first played.
okay. Yeah, my memory's really foggy on some of this stuff. I fear.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Um. And the other interesting change they did is when your HP reaches 0, you don't actually die. You become infected. Well,
Right.
you become, how do I say this? You become in a state where you're prone to infection. And so now you have an infection meter. And once that reaches 100%, then you actually die. But while you're in this, you know, infectable state, let's say, you can't attack. Your character's like limping, he's like holding their
Yeah.
arm, like you can't use any of your weapons, you can't heal, nothing. Like you're basically, it's like being downed, but in this
Hmm.
state you're standing up. And zombies can
Okay.
still hit you, they can still damage you. Should they damage you, your infection meter drastically increases. So you want to like still, it's almost like I said, it's almost like being down, but you're still kind of, it's like your last stand. I think they call it last stand.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. They're making it's if it does feel like my general consensus is they've sort of made the game more forgiving on many levels, because the other change they did, I'm pretty sure this is a change. I could be wrong, but they split the map in half. They have like North
Oh,
North something, I forget the name of the city, like North Young City and South Young City. And
interesting.
which makes the map quite smaller, and I
It
feel
was
like,
big, I remember originally.
yeah, and I feel like the player count therefore is smaller, so it's a lot harder to find players. I've noticed.
Maybe that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of like after my 30 hours, the game feels a little too easy. Like I have abundant amount of money, but I don't really know. I've been buying frivolous stuff. Let's say I'll
Wait,
explain.
when did the test open?
Giga's like trying to do head math.
I was just like, I was like, hold on
30
a minute.
hours.
30 hours? When did it
yeah,
open? Like yesterday?
I don't worry about the details on that one. It did open. I think it opened Wednesday. Yeah, it opened Wednesday at 9 a.m. for me Eastern. So,
Oh, okay.
I put in a few hours. Maybe you could say,
I'm just like, how many hours have there been since 9 a.m. Eastern on a Wednesday? Probably about.
Yeah,
That's only like 50 hours, though.
Yeah, we'd be gaming. We'd be gaming. What was I talking about? They split North and South. Oh yeah, the game feels a little too easy. Like I don't know, I can't. Like when I encounter. Okay, so this is the other interesting thing too. That now they have VoIP, and so there's ways to communicate. And outside of VoIP, you have emotes. You can like wave to people. You can like thumbs up. You can be like, taunt them and stuff.
Right.
They've added layers of communication. People are genuinely want to work together, which is it's all fine. I'm fine for it, but I don't know. It's just something I feel like I remember the first one being, I'm slightly more even with the zombies. The zombies feel very like there's less of them. It feels like I remember going to an extract and like there was like a horde of zombies. Like you had, if you went to the gated extract, you had to have a brick or something to throw because to distract them. Because otherwise, you were just. Whereas now, it's just like they're all asleep there because they do this. There's like a few different types of zombies. There's like the sleepers where like they're standing but they're hunched like all the way over and they're like asleep. Because sound's like really important. And then there's like the awake ones, which like they're atypical zombie, but again, very forgiven as long as you're not actively running. Like you can, even if you're walking, you get like you have like a passive trait that shows you like the radius of the sound. So you can like barely navigate, and like their vision isn't the best if they're awake. They have to be like looking pretty much perpendicular at you a lot of times, or parallel. I don't know, whatever. But so I don't know. That's been my gripe. The other thing I noticed is, well, before I get to that, let me tell you about finish up some of the changes that's different because this is what you asked about. Which is tied to, anyways, the hideout. They have a hideout system. It's a physical hideout, which
in the town.
Yes, but you actually like live like when you first get your first base, you're in the shipping container. It's like Giga. That thing has to be like, I don't know, 4 feet by like 3 feet. Like it is so sad. You have a mattress on the floor. It's you got a little like broken desk to like put stuff together. But as you raise your citizen status, you get a little bit better of a house. Eventually, you get like a proper house that's like kind of like underground. You got like little windows that like can see up into the street, and you can place furniture, and you can take loot.
Your favorite.
I know, and you can take loot, and you can place it physically in your place, which is really interesting concept. I want to see explored because you have containers to store loot, as you would like in Tarkov where you have like a stash, but those have limited space. So what I was doing, because I'm a class A hoarder, I was starting to take loot and put it into the world because you have like a workbench and it's got shelves in it, and then I bought like a shoe rack. And I was like throwing like vest on it, just piling vest on it, and then like I put like the weapons on top of the workbench desk. Like I just I don't know. It's kind of
and it saves the position of everything, so the stuff actually exists within the room.
Yeah, but I can't loot it. I have to go into like the furniture building UI and like put it back into the storage, like the stash storage,
Right.
and then I can equip it. But like otherwise, it's just like it's safe. It's completely safe. It's like it's so I don't know. And then I'm like being efficient about it. I'm like trying to like perfectly stack stuff where it, like won't clip into the shelves. Just and I don't know why I'm like this. My brain's just like, "Arr, arr." But yeah, I do like that. There's player personalization. You can decorate. Like I already bought a lamp because like I just got money. I was like, why not? The other thing that's
Do you buy
changed.
guns?
Yes, there's handmade guns now, which are like, I mean, they got this stuff's kind of crazy because it looks like something you see in like the global news where they got like a freaking sawed off piece of wood with like a water bottle on it that's like zip tied and like some electrician ignition device. And you shoot the thing, and it's only limited like 3 shots, and then like the water bottle explodes, and you can't use it anymore. But it's like, but that's in the actual world, you can find actual weapons, right? Like there's a revolver, there's like a Colt, there's a shotgun. And what's interesting, these are considered contraband items. So when you come back to the committee, they take those, but they give you credits for them.
Oh, that kind of
And they're worth a lot. And you get paid for the ammo. And I was like, that's really interesting. I don't know how I necessarily feel about it, but I definitely don't dislike it. Like I like it. It's very
Yeah, you'd have to
interesting.
think more about it. I'd have to think more about it. Be like, is that good? Is that not good? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you can't go into raid with a gun. You're not allowed.
Exactly. Well, you
they'll get taken
can,
off
but
you.
it has to be a handmade one.
Handmade one.
Yeah. Which is like crap, basically. Like I haven't even used one because I haven't really felt the need to. It's just I don't know. The game might be a little too forgiving, but I'm only 30 hours in the closed test, so who knows? It's like all.
And is the melee easier to use as well if you do actually need to fight or whatever? Or do you just not need to fight them at all, really?
That's the thing is I'm finding like you can just like kind of like one thing I'd learned pretty recently was you can sprint while crouched, and that has been kind of a game changer because also in addition to that, you have traits now, a whole skill tree, and I've been leveling up stealth, so I can take down targets without any like I don't need a weapon. So I can put my weapon away and just have my hand out, and I'll just like magically spawn like a shiv. It's like it's quieter takedown than normal, and I put points into like it being faster. So it's a really fast animation.
Right.
And then I got points in like sprint crouch speed and extra stamina. So like I'm kind of like just zooming through that like zero sound. I mean, not to other players, but the zombies, like it makes no sound, right? So I don't know. It's just like I'm not too sure, but they got a lot of interesting stuff with the traits. One of them is really fun, and I had so much fun. This is part of the reason why I have 30 hours. I stayed up like super late because I wanted to achieve this. So one of them is there's 3 different categories like physical training, there's like stamina, there's special operations, and something else. I don't know, stealth, let's say. And so in special operations, you have like a smoke grenade. You could just like deploy a smoke grenade. You have maybe like a bear trap, I think. And then you have something else, and it's a box. It's a box disguise. And you put like Metal Gear Solid style, you pull out a cardboard box and sit inside it. And you can like move around.
Is it like a reference?
I assume so, because it looks just like it. And so I wanted to get someone with the box so badly, but I couldn't find people. It was so hard to find people. And like when I would find them, you gotta pull out the box. Like it costs stamina to just pull it out. That's fine. Doesn't cost stamina to use it. But if you turn your camera too far, your character will turn. And so will the box. So you can't like sit still and like get like a full 360 view. You have to like.
Is there not like a look?
No. It's like you maybe get 90 to like 100 degrees. Like left or right before your character turns up and shifts his box a little bit. So it's like it was so hard. And then even if they get like close enough, you put the box away and it makes a sound, and I mean it was okay, but I had a lot of fun. Like I was laughing the entire time because it was so ridiculous. Me and this other person, they had a box too. I saw them with a box walking earlier, so I went up, caught up to them, and we walked with boxes to the extract. It was so funny. I was just dying laughing with how stupid it was.
That's good.
Oh my god.
That is good.
Um,
Okay.
the other
What
final
else was I
thing.
going to ask you? Oh yeah, you say your stuff, and then I'll ask any
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. This is the last major change. They upgraded to Unreal 5, and
Oh,
yeah, so the game looks better, debatably. I hate Lumen with a burning passion. I cannot stand Unreal 5, particularly Lumen. Like I don't know. It makes sense why they did it because you have a flashlight and dynamic lighting. Like that makes sense. I mean, I think previously
yeah.
they were using Unreal 4, I assume. So this is a more, the game looks realistic, but to me, it looks like every other Unreal Soft game. I'm sorry, I'm
And
just
they
like
all do. It's just
I
You have to
can't.
do like a lot of work on the engine to make it not look like that. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I feel
Yes, it
bad, but
almost
it's
feels
just like at the
too
same time,
ridiculous.
I just because the other thing that's annoying is like there's crazy ghosting, which I think is related to Lumen Plus TSR that's like baked into it, and it's just like the ghosting is insane. And then if you smear NVIDIA DLSS on it, there's that, kind of adds like another layer of ghosting. And then all your shadows are like not dithered, they're like trying to be denoised. So they're all like pixely and fuzzy and just like everything just looks
Mm.
it looks I know I just don't like it. I can't stand it. It drives me insane every time I see it. I have to look at it. I will probably, moan about it and every, I don't know, 2 hours. More recently, I've gotten used to it, but it took me a while. I was this close when I booted the game, Giga, to like within 20 minutes, like exiting the game and pulling up the NE file and start going to town because I was like, man, this is just like killing it for me. But I've gotten over it. Well, I'm hoping I'm hoping they'll do something. I don't know. I really just it sucks
Yeah.
so much, but that aside, I think that's all the major stuff. So what else? What else you got? What other questions? Sorry, I know you have to
So,
there for a
how
minute.
did the zombies? How did the zombies feel? Because in the first test, they were very like glitchy and like Daisy Alpha style,
Oh,
kind
really?
of
I can't
like
remember
moving
any of
around.
that.
Yeah, they were not consistent at all. They would just like warp around and all sorts. Is that all of that is fixed presumably?
Yeah. I don't think I've experienced any weird jankiness like that at all. Yeah, no, they're very consistent. I would say, yeah.
That's good. That's good. And do you get to walk around the town at all, or is it just your room? Like you're just in your room?
Just in your room. Yeah.
Okay. And then how far up like the hierarchy can you go? Because I know like there's different citizen ranks, right?
Different citizen ranks. Yeah, I mean, I was
Yeah,
like,
on the citizen because you
I
start off as some
saw,
kind of scrub in a cupboard, and then you can like move up the ranks, can't you? And then you can
yeah.
decide to like not go out more often if you want, or do like other things. You have the more flexibility later.
Um, are you
Or is that
ask?
not really how it works now?
What are you asking? Yeah, you climb your citizen status. Like, I think you start at 18. I want to say
And what does that get? What does it give you? What does that do for you? Do you get to
more
move to a better place? Do
access
you?
to,
Is
to
it just traders?
It's like traders. It's like quests. It's like because there's like a. I'll see if I can scrub through it. I
Do you
might.
get somewhere else to live? Or are you just always
Yes.
in your tiny house?
Yeah. Yes. But I mean, like you. It's just like cosmetically changing around you. You know what I mean?
It's not
Like
going to
you.
be bigger.
Yeah. No. It will be bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, is the only thing that's physicalized is your hideout. If that answers your question,
Kind of,
because I
yeah.
assume you're trying to ask is like is there like a physical world where you interact with traders and such, right?
Kind of, and like, is there like, what's the progression system like through the society? How does that affect you? Because I
Oh,
remember the
okay.
original vision they had was like, if you got damaged, there was like meta progression on your damage between raids, and like, but if you were scrub tier, you got broken arm, but it was going to take 3 days to heal. But the society's just like, you're a scrub, so you've got to go out now. So you're trying to like balance between like deferring going out versus staying in. Is that still in existence, or is it not really like that?
Um, it's hard to say because like not to like flex, but I kind of just don't die. Like I've only died once, I think.
Hmm.
And I mean the systems they have is there is so when you get back, you do get like a diary. You get a new journal entry, and it pops up automatically, and it tells this short story like you found a piece of raw meat on the floor, and then you have some options. You pick it up and use it as bait, and it will say like a 65% failure chance. Do you ignore it, 100% success chance, and you pick one, and like usually if you do like the 100% success chance, nothing happens. If you do the gamble ones and you win, you might get like uh either like cash or your wellness will go up, which is like your brain, your health meter has to do with your infection resistance, and or you'll get fed. Your hunger will, because your hunger is tied to your storage capacity, your looting capacity. If you
In what
have
way?
you lose slots. Like let's say you have a 60 slot backpack. That's everyone has that. There is no backpacks. Like that's your inventory, right? Like you press tab, you have 60 slots.
Ah,
If your
I
hunger is
see.
below a certain point, you lose one slot. If your hunger is below the next threshold, you lose 2 slots, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, interesting. So it's like a strength system almost.
Yes. Yes. You could think of it like you got like a sanity system and like a strength system. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, the
What
sanity
does
is more
sanity
to
actually affect?
it's infection. So basically, because the other mechanic that happens, I forgot to mention this. There's a lot of mechanics when I'm talking as I'm like describing everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Once the raid reaches 5 minutes left, it will give you warnings prehand, but like you will become infected no matter what. And now you have so like remember how I talked about the last stand thing where you got hit by a
Hmm.
zombie and you didn't die, but now you're infected? That happens to you now. You can still you're not you're not damaged. You're just like on a new timer where like once this infection meter ticks up, you die and become a zombie.
And you can't
If
attack or
you're
anything.
you can you can during the there's like two different mechanics. There's last stand, which is when you quote unquote go down, you're not actually out. You just can't attack, and now your new HP bar is your infection meter, right?
Yeah.
When the timer reaches 5 minutes, your infection meter starts ticking up. If that reaches 100%, you're dead.
Okay.
It's like the two they're related, but
And does
they're
that happen
separate.
at 0?
Hmm.
Does that happen at 0? Is that like a
Yes,
timer?
if
It's basically like,
if your wellness is at max, your like mental health. If
but
your
your timer's
mental,
less if you're not. Mm,
you already have some use. Like my mental at one time was like 20 out of 100, and my
okay.
infection was like 30% already pre-filled. So I was like, once that timer started, like I was already at the extract once 5 minutes came by because I was like, I'm not taking any chances here. But yeah,
Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. So does the system still exist where you can like, it's like done per days and you can skip a day or not skip a day? That still exists, right? But you just haven't really had to utilize it because you just go into raid after raid because you're not really getting damaged or dying.
yeah. So yeah, when you go into a raid and come back, a day goes by, and each day you get a new activity, and there's by default the you'll get like you can sleep, which gives you a little bit of wellness. You can learn, which drains your wellness and drains your hunger by a little bit, but you get EXP. or you can do labor, and that will like drain your hunger a lot and lower your wellness, but you'll get credits, I think. Like you'll get money.
Mm.
And then certain days there's like a food kitchen or something you can get fed on like Thursdays. And then Sundays you can go to church and get, wellness and fed as well. And there might be some
Okay.
other
See, I
stuff.
quite like it. Like those
Yeah,
are the
no,
things
it's
I quite like that sort of general system. Yeah.
yeah, they got like a lot of little unique things, you know. I wouldn't even say they're gimmicks. I feel like that's doing a disservice. They're like, I don't know, it's just I like
Yeah.
I like what they're bringing to the
Like making you
table.
feel like you're part of the world. That's the thing.
Yes. Yeah, immersion. Yeah, definitely feel immersed. Yeah, for sure. Um,
Like you're part of the society, and you're doing your bit, and
so the other thing I forgot
you
to
actually live
tell you
there.
about,
Hmm.
when you go to the government slash the committee, whatever, to get your citizen status upgrade, you gotta like meet these requirements. They have a system, I forget what maybe it's called like welfare coin. So when you do die, it calculates your what you brought in, that value, and gives you that in welfare tokens. Then you can go to the government and take those welfare tokens and buy things that they're selling. So they'll sell like
Okay.
gear and stuff. So, which I thought was really interesting because it's like if you, I don't know, it's just I never thought about a clever way because it's like because I died right, went to the thing, I bought like some armor and some things. It's like I got stuff for free because and I have some tokens left over, and I'll just those will just pile on to the next time I die,
Yeah.
and I'll get, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, that's interesting. It's not like they're giving you free stuff. I mean, they are, but like you get to pick, but you get, it's like a currency. It's based off what you bring. So if you go in super thick, you're going to get a lot more currency to spend. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I'm assuming the stuff isn't like of the same quality that you can
No,
buy. So even if you get loads of tokens, you can't buy like the top end stuff.
probably not. But I'd been, yeah, I have to like, yeah, probably not, but I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
Um, Yeah, and you got like a workbench now. You got a cooking station, so you can make different tiers of food, and they do things better. You can store your food to help it last longer. I don't remember if they had that, but like a refrigerator, because it
Yeah.
expires. Like there's a lot of you're managing a lot of things like in and out of the there's like the outside raid and inside raid. It's and but they kind of they interlink in between. It's cool. I just
Yeah.
so far I'm a little there's a couple of things I'm a little weary on, technical Unreal stuff, but the game feels a little too easy right now. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any hint of like more, better, bigger, harder stuff that you need to do later. Like, how far does this
Probably.
feel? What does it feel like you actually have to do? Is the idea just like surviving the world, or is there some kind of narrative
No, there's a big time
about?
narrative. Like that's probably the biggest thing I'm surprised about is like how much story they put into this.
And is there like an overwhelming? There's like an overarching goal for that, like
Yeah,
right from the beginning. You're
essentially
supposed to do
this
something,
guy,
fix the infection, or I don't know.
like this guy, the broker is like kind of like blackmailing you in a way. He's like he
Hmm.
needs an obedient dog is what he tells you. And so you're trying to like rise up in the ranks of the committee because he needs you as like an inside man to do something for him. I don't remember
Hmm.
the specifics. And you are trying to get out of this crappy situation because you don't want to be in this like that is very apparent from that. And you meet other people who like are familiar with the broker and like, yeah, that guy sucks. And they got their own quest, and it's like, I don't know, there's just a lot. I really like all of that stuff, and I'm like really part of me would love to see this as a like on Netflix series, like some like K drama or something, because like it's definitely
Yeah.
got the writing. I think is pretty well done. Like a lot of the characters and their own personas. I like it. This is the other thing I forgot to tell you about. When you spawn in and you come up from the manhole into the container, there's like already free gear there for you as well. It's
Okay.
it's like your basic stuff, but it's interesting. Yeah, but it's the same. It's largely this, as far as I could tell, it's the same map from prior. It's just split in half, which I'm not sure. I was thinking maybe
Maybe
they
it's
did that.
performance.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they did it for feedback. Like people are like, "Oh, the map's too big and it's too hard." Like I'm not too sure. Not too sure.
What's that kind of vampire scent overlay thing that keeps
Yeah,
pulsing?
you noticed that. So that was one of the skills I was trying. It's like, I don't know, sonar vision. You could like see
Yeah.
through walls to see threats, and then I got like the next tier up, which was like now it highlights loot for you in a radius. It costs stamina and it drains stamina, and yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to get the box to work. So I was like, okay, I'll get the sonar so I could find the people. Because that was the biggest problem. I would spend half my time trying to find people. I started camping quests from earlier. I was so desperate.
Is that because you need to finish a quest, a PvP quest? Is that the deal?
No, I just wanted to get someone with the box tech Giga.
Oh, sorry, I understand. Yeah,
Yeah. Look,
the
let me
box
see if I
tech.
could. The box tech was so much fun. Well, to be fair, part of the issue probably was that I was like queuing at like absurd hours, like 4 a.m. on a
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday morning, whatever morning. Like so, that's probably part of the issue. But yeah, it's just it's so funny. Let's see if I can scrub through and find some of the box tech.
Can you kill the zombies now? Like, do they die permanently?
Largely, yes. They got this.
They used to
So,
not in the first test.
oh, really? Okay, I think they do. Yeah, you definitely kill them permanently. Because what? Yeah, no, for sure. They'll make a sound and like a limb or like their head will pop off.
And then
But
they're done.
yeah, but they have this. They have two things. They have a corpse. There's like a body corpse pile, and occasionally zombies will spawn out of there. And then they also have these trucks and graded up walls slash buildings where zombies are like pounding on the inside, and if you make enough noise they'll come crawling out there. But I think they're also used to spawn in zombies.
Hmm.
Not too sure about some of the specifics, but yeah, funny you brought that up, because see, I can't remember anything. I mean, I remember like playing the beta, but I don't remember these details you're mentioning. So it's my memory is so bad about stuff like this.
Well, it certainly seems interesting. So, like, what else is there to do then after you played 30 hours? Like, what else is there to do? You still got loads of story to do? So, like, how
Yeah,
far through the
just
questing are you? Have any idea, or there's just more?
questing. I'm checking out the progression. I mean, I got keys. They're one use, trying to see what that is. Mess around with the traits. There's a lot of traits. There's one where you can throw a grapple hook on top of a roof and climb up
Oh,
to the rooftop.
wow.
And yeah, I know. I was like, that's kind of cool. I was actually thinking, because I was trying to find this uh gas station secret box key. I'm like, well, what's inside? Maybe it's on the roof. Can I get to the roof here? And I was like, oh yeah, I might need a grapple or something. They got like some combat related ones, like a melee, like a kick that like knocks their stance, like a quick dash. Um, there's a lot of, the trait tree is pretty big. A lot of it's
Mm.
labeled like locked, and we'll say it's under development. But yeah, I mean, it's like your standard stuff like questing. There's you got the map split up now, but there's also a third map. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can get access to it. And just a larger progression of the story and just playing the game. I mean, the game's pretty fun to play. I think I like
Yeah.
the world. The loot is interesting because you basically have two broad categories of items as far as like valuables. You have items you loot to sell and items you loot to dismantle into like components, because the crafting goes pretty hard. I think you'll enjoy that.
Do you need to get a lot of stuff to either craft or is there barter with the traders?
No, but there's this one trader. He works at like the Kmart, and he sells a bunch of crafting materials that you can only buy from traders. So there's kind of this like when you go to make something, it may require some trader items, so it's kind of like a cash dump of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta have like the other components as well from in the raid, so to speak. And then you can also enhance weapons. Like one of them I was looking at, you can take a baseball bat and like wrap magazines around it with like some duct tape, or you can like take some aluminum foil or like aluminum steel plates and some other stuff you need, and you can wrap it around there, or you can like put spikes on, a baseball bat, or just different stuff, and it's kind of interesting. There was the armor upgrade, and it had 3 different paths you could do. They all did the same thing, but they all had different recipes. Like one of them was like you need an aluminum bowl or something, and the visual of the armor had like bowls, like bowls placed on it. But yeah, I don't know.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Are the weapons still split between like blunt for zombies and like slashing for players?
Yes. Yeah. You still
If
have
you do
that.
actually run into players, how much have you actually had a lot of fights with people?
Not really. I feel like I remember the last playtest, and I was like that was my favorite thing to do, was like mess with people, because you would get a range of players. You would get some that were like please, your classic teammate, like please no, God no, and this was back before you had VoIP, and then
yeah.
And then you get the ones that were like, "Oh, you want to go? Like, let's go." You know what I mean? Which is kind of fun now in VoIP. One time, I was doing some box shenanigans, just like boxing in front of people, because it's just so funny to me. Like, it's just so utterly ridiculous. And they would be like, "Oh, what you doing?" Blah. Oh, you being silly. And then I had a quest where you just had to damage them. That was it, right? I was like, I'll just throw a brick at this guy, and I missed. He like dodged it. I threw it again. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." And he started chasing me down. I was like, "No, I'm running away." Just like, I like that. It feels a lot more interactable compared to the previous one. Was just like, either the person ran from you or like they were ready to fight. Now there's a lot more. You got a lot more tools. So that feels really good. But
It's really funny actually in this genre, just like how also I think there's a broader big meta now that there's more games that are out and actually people are playing, and like the like archification of extraction shooters is definitely something where people are more likely to get to like group up. It's interesting, really, from like a sociology perspective, because unless you actually do need to kill players for some specific task, like everybody actually gets more progression for not killing each other.
Exactly.
So it's quite interesting how that like arc has sort of changed things a bit. It's like people are more likely to want to be friendly now, I think, in general, because of this. Whereas like, when this came out first, it was like Tarkov was still the only game in town. Extraction shooter equaled kill on sight every game that came out.
Well, it's also like
I don't know.
I think not having any tools to communicate.
Yeah, that too.
It's like goes a long way, because even when you're communicating, I'm still a little sus of you, but like it puts you a lot of ease based off the tone. But if you don't have any of that, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, 5 meter distance, like, watch yourself. Don't you dare get close. You know what I mean? It's like it's so much harder because it's just
Yeah, it's harder to read people's intentions.
For sure. But yeah.
Okay. Any closing comments about the game then? You gonna play a bit more? Like, what's kind of your feelings at this point?
I would say I'm enjoying it. I'm going through the quest. I don't know. It's just it's just we'll just see what I just hope I hope it gets better. I'm just a little concerned. Lumen's very annoying. Like this is sorry, this is what I was just getting distracted by. I'm trying to find the box tech. It's so funny, Giga. I need to go back to it. I can't. What am I doing now? I'm doing like. Oh yeah, I'm doing the stealth path. I was trying because you can reset your credits, or it doesn't cost any credits to reset your traits, which I assume they're doing because it says the top 0 credits to reset. I assume they're doing it so you can experiment and test stuff. But yeah, I want to go back to the box stuff because it's so funny. It cracks me up. Here I am sitting here camping a quest I got earlier. So I was like, surely someone else is gonna come here. I think this is the one where I end up finding someone and boxing with them probably. Anyways, yeah.
Okay,
That's that.
cool. Yeah, I'll have to give it a go. I definitely don't have that much time to put into it. It's probably worth checking out though a bit, right?
Yeah,
And
I would
just
say
like
try
playing
it
with the
out. Like
systems and stuff.
play it. 2-3 hours. You'll get the general. You'll pretty much 2-3 hours. You'll get the pretty much full experience, more or less.
Yeah.
You'll know what it's about.
Okay.
You'll know
Cool.
what it's about.
Cool. Okay. So what else then? So I mean, do you want to make it? Do you have a quick? Because we're talking about extraction shooter still. Do you want to do a quick talk about Marathon? You played it much more. I played a little bit more.
Yeah.
I've not really got. I've not had. Again, I've not had time. So I've played up to like level 10 or something, but I've not managed to get to Outpost yet. Unfortunately, I am feeling like, for me, the game
You play mostly solo, right?
gets better the more you play.
You only play solo, right?
Yeah, I only play solo.
Okay.
I mean, the game's very intense solo.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, and the AI is hard, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, they have nerfed the AI. There was a patch they did, which supposedly they nerfed it. They said a little bit, but apparently it was like quite a lot. People were saying,
Huh.
but I haven't played since then, so I don't know. But I mean, the game's like pretty intense. Like I think last time I said you have to play it kind of like Tarkov, and certainly am enjoying it. Like getting into the swing of it after playing a certain amount. I'm like now thinking, okay, I think I understand like what most of the stuff does, and I'm tripping up over like random stuff a bit less. I think I'm at like the 15-hour mark, something like that. So it's like that's when the game kind of like, after 10 hours, I think the game sort of opens up. I know where everything is in the UI. I understand the UI. I understand what I'm looking for. I understand which things are sort of better or worse, like what's good, what's not good. And I've kind of got goals for myself rather than just like randomly going around and just like trying to do whatever the quest does and then get out with any old item. It's like, oh, actually, I want this upgrade, so I'm going to go to this place to do this thing, and I'll try and hit this quest on the way, and yada yada. Like, there's still some things that I'm a bit there's some stuff obviously I've not gone through all the missions yet. There's one where you had to put it in some. It was decon box or something, and I just didn't
Oh
know what it was
yeah.
talking about, and there was
Yeah.
no marker
Yeah.
for it, and I was like, what the hell? I went into it was on Dire Marsh, and I went into quarantine for the first time, and I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my god, with like there's like a tunnel filled with claymores, and there's like this huge like lab thing with like full of enemies, and I was just like, oh my god. It took me like 10 minutes to clear the whole thing from
Yeah.
like top to bottom. Like found that there was a reagent type thing. I like jumped over the little sensor, which I think hacks you if you, or like puts an alarm or something if you touch it. So anyway, smashed the thing. This is for Mida. Grabbed the bottle, and then I was like, I don't know where this is supposed to go. And it said, oh, there's a decon thing, and it's like around in this area. And I went everywhere. I went on the roof. I went underground. I went through every lab. I was just like, I don't know where this is supposed to go. Apparently, it's outside in the corner, supposedly. But I only found that out afterwards. I only had 4 minutes or something left by the time I'd finished, because that's one of the issues with solo is that I feel like the time is a bit short in some ways, but it's also good because it puts you under pressure, and it means that you don't have to like wait an hour for then someone to rat you in the last 2 seconds. So like I quite like the pressure, and so I don't mind too much. And once you know what you're doing, it's better. But it means that exploration's a bit limited. But for a solo, like this is sort of the same in a lot of games. Like it's a bit like in Grey Zone as well. It's like when the AI is quite hard, you have to clear very methodically because you don't have a res. It's like a really clear difference between a team of 3 where one guy pushes in, like gets downed by the AI, and then the 2 others clean up because they know where the person is, and then they put you back up, versus solo who goes in, like you make one mistake and you die, you have to go into another raid. It's quite, like you need a self-res. You can have a self-res, but there's no secure container, so there's only so many of them.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know if you can buy
quite.
them later. I'm not sure.
If you're not careful,
Um,
you can find yourself without resources like shields or something, which feels really bad.
yeah, and the AI, I'm getting better now at fighting them,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll mess you up if you give them the chance. It's almost like Tarkov in some ways. It's like
Kinda,
you
yeah.
just can't. You're better off like peeking, shooting a couple of shots and doing some damage, and then hiding again. That's the thing
Yeah.
that I learned quite quickly. It's like you can't just go. They've got so much health compared to you.
Yeah.
You can't go like toe to toe with them
Mm-hmm.
in combat. You have to like peek out, get some damage off, reposition, peek off, get another couple of shots, because you can't. There's no other. There's nobody else there to aggro you. Or aggro for you. Sorry. So you can't like. They're like looking at the other guy, and then you turn around and shoot, and then they turn to you, and you go back in, and they aggro again. And so like this is the thing. It's like it's not even like solo is hard. Like it's not like it's 3 times. I don't know. It's not like 3 times harder than playing a trio against the AI. At least it's like more than that, because it's like there's these sort of scale advantages that you have with 2 or 3 people that you just don't have as a solo. The rezzing thing, the
Yeah.
aggroing thing, the flanking. It's just like it's so much more difficult playing solo against the AI. And I think a lot of the solo play, I think a lot of people die actually against against the
I
bots.
think so
But it has
too.
got easier. I've died to them a lot less now, and now I'm taking in like better kits. And I'm taking in proper meds most of the time and stuff. So that's helped. And I kind of understand sort of what I'm supposed to be doing, which is good. But like I don't know, I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I am enjoying it. I've sort of ruled it out for content though. I just don't think. I don't think it's like it's. I don't know. It's weird. I just don't think the player interest is there for content for Marathon. I think it's interesting to play, but I think I think it's partly the demographic. Like the interest was there for Ark because I think a lot of people it was their first extraction shooter and they needed help and there's like a big player base. Whereas with Marathon, it's like a much tighter niche player base. The average player playing Marathon, I would hazard a guess, is much more experienced. They know much more about what they're doing. They probably have played other extraction shooters before, if not like Tarkov for a while, and they just don't really need as much help. And so when I browse around just from a content creator and business side, and you look at the various things, obviously like viewership is an important factor to decide to make stuff or not make stuff. And the content that I'm seeing out there, even the really good content, just like isn't getting the views. So maybe it will eventually. I don't know, but like for the best things out there to be getting 30, 40,000 views, that's like the top end. Like,
Hmm.
oof, that's tough. Actually, that's tough. That's a tough market to be trying to make content into. Actually,
Is that educational stuff or is that just like the
yeah, that's educational stuff,
oh.
which is what I'm going to be doing because I can't put enough hours in to do the like first into outposts. Here's how you complete. Like, I just don't have the.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
My whole model doesn't allow me to have the time to just do that. Like, if you're full time streaming, then sure, you could be the first to this and first to put a guide
Mm-hmm.
out on this or the first one into this map or whatever. But like, it's just not going to work for me, especially not in this particular regime that I'm like working under at the moment. I just don't have time to play enough to do that. So I have to kind of like capture the like bottom 50% of progressors, and those people are just not there in the same way as they are for Ark or even Tarkov. To be honest, it's just the player base is so much more hardcore. It feels like it's like half experienced Tarkov people and half people who are like, legend Apex Legends. And they just don't need the basic
Yeah.
beginner help. They've gone through the first 10 or 20 hours already themselves. They've like maybe looked at Reddit a bit and like gone on a few like maybe checked out a few things that people have said, like some interesting bits and pieces, and then now they're just like playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to I mean, I think you're right. I think it does kind of fit like, cater I don't even know if cater is the right word, but it does kind of like slant itself towards a more experienced player. Like it's pretty cutthroat. Like even I've been playing with some friends and like it's just not a casual game and in any
It
means.
is
Like
not.
you you die so fast. Like it's impossible. Like it feels like I mean, I feel like I've been saying this for a while, so I hate to keep saying it, but it feels like the meta. Like you spawn in, like don't do anything, don't loot, don't fight bots, because as soon as you do, like as soon as you start looting, you're gonna end up having to fight a bot, And once you do that, they're gonna be all over you like Swiss cheese. I don't know what that means, but they're gonna be all over you. And you die because you die so fast. You're down. You're down a number of you're down disadvantageous. They're gonna push you. Like it's always GG. It's never like there's never any like the math is just not mathing any other way. So I mean, there's always potential for upsets, but it's crazy. Like we literally played. Anytime I play with my friends, it's just like I told them today, like guys, if you need to clear out your stash, just I'm I'm your gal. Like just let me know. I'll be there for you because and it's just like free kid Tammy coming through. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm like it is rough. We played one on Dire Marsh. We spawned at like AI uplink. I step outside to kill the tick nest that's right outside. 10 seconds into the raid, I get sniped and I'm down and I'm dead. And then there's 30 seconds go by. What my other teammate dies. Now there's 2 teams plus my 1 teammate left. It's like, what is like squads compared to solos are way different. I actually kind of compared to playing with friends. I kind of like playing solo because even if you go duo, you end up getting trios. So it just feels like you're kind of forced just to play trio or solo. So, but yeah, in trios, it's just like we played this one map called Outpost, which is the one you were describing. That's like
the new one, yeah.
And it's got some cool mechanics to it, some not so cool, I think. But regardless, it's a lot. It's probably like a smaller map than Perimeter. You can essentially
I think there's less teams there too, apparently.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean that makes sense. But the map's like one big circle essentially, and there's like a circle. There's like a tower in the middle that's also kind of circular within itself. But to get to the tower, you have to find these key cards to unlock it that spawn in the raid. But there's basically it's almost like a nuclear symbol in a sense.
Yeah.
And the choke points are like connecting the two or the triangles together. But yeah, like literally as soon as you spawn as soon as you spawn in and start looting or doing anything, it's just like people are on top of you already. And it's like it feels like you're incentivized to like not play the game and like sit there and play Apex Legends, but with bots. I just don't know.
Without a circle, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and at this point, it's like, one of my friends said, "Man, this game would go so hard if a team deathmatch run." I'm like, actually, as much as I hate that you said that, and I like that idea, I kind of agree. Like, I feel like I can't play an extraction shooter. I end up just playing Apex Legends, but in an extraction. Like, it's weird because you do all the extraction stuff after you do the PvP stuff. It's like Tarkov on steroids in a way. You know how in like Tarkov you spawn in and like you got to be conscious of spawns, but sometimes that's not an issue, and you're allowed to like go and do the thing you want to do. In this game, you are not allowed to go and do the thing you want to do when you spawn in. Like, it is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I found that even on solos actually a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Perimeter less so.
Yeah.
Perimeter, I can kind of go where I want normally.
No, you're right.
So long as it depends what it is. Like, yeah, it depends really. But like, yeah, Perimeter, I find like I get a bit more freedom. Whereas like, yeah, Dire Marsh is like, yeah, if you have a mission to go wherever, like you're best off just like chilling out. Like it's the Tarkov thing of like wait. This is why I feel the game actually is quite like EFT in many ways. It's like it's like playing Lighthouse. You're better off waiting 15 minutes for everybody to go and die to bots, die to each other, grab a load of stuff and extract whatever, and then you start playing the game. It's like a million times easier after that first section. But the bots get harder and harder in Marathon, which you get the USC reinforcements coming in. Are there more of them after the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or is it just replenishing spawns where they're already cleared out? I'm
not even sure.
Figured that out yet. I'm not sure either. But yeah, I mean, sometimes even if there's no players, sometimes getting to where you want to be, like I was saying, with going to the quarantine lab or whatever. Like I wasn't even in PvP, and I was just like, this is This is no joke getting down here. Like,
Because
there
you
really is
got
no. It really is no
bots,
joke.
you got turrets.
Yeah, I got blown up by a claymore on my way in as well because I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was there to start with. So I had to blow up like 6 claymores on the way in. I've got to like hack these doors. Then you got to get through. And then there's these guys with shields who are like invisible and like teleporting around and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, by myself, this is so painful trying to kill the invisible guys, you know? And they'll like shoot you
Yeah.
immediately as well. Which is a bit of a skill issue. Like the bots are getting easier, as I said. I'm figuring out how to fight them, but
Well, I'm figuring out
but
what
it's not
works
easy,
too.
even though PvP.
Which I never would have thought, like, the bolt pistol would be better than the
Or the
default.
punch.
Yeah, it would be better than the default AR. Like, oh my god, that default AR is so. What is it?
Overrun
Overrun?
AR is like it's like the Rattler in Arc. It's just like the mag size is what lets it down. It doesn't do enough damage. Yeah, but you know, actually, this is the one because I was all ready to make a video for Arc Edge. That's not for Arc, for Marathon, and I put together because there's not really. I mean, I'm not like super connected into the community for Marathon. I've looked up a bunch of stuff, but again, there seems like some of the information's a bit sparse. But it seems like a lot of people are not actually really interested in like other than like various tips or whatever. But there's not that many people like delving into the system too much. But I was trying to look for TTK,
Yeah.
and because I was like, that's actually really important. And all I could find was a bunch of this guy's chart where he'd gone through and taken all the stats out of the game. And in fairness, the game does a good job of this, where it gives you the damages. So I didn't realize that like, what's the stat on the surface? It's called like
Firepower.
or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so that's this. But then I realized later because I was like, oh, this should be this many shots, but it doesn't feel like it feels like it takes a lot more than that. And then I remember looking at the details and I was like looking through the stats and I was like, oh no, firepower is like damage combined with RPM. Oh no, it's like supposed to be some kind of comparable statistic.
I think it's damage times the headshot multiplier.
Wait, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was like, it's something.
Which
something
doesn't make
here.
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was the moment when I was like, oh, I see. The damages are like really low actually in comparison. And it's got the damage, it's got the RPM there, which isn't correct for the Vault guns, I don't think. Like the guy had estimated because the Vault guns RPM was like way too low for what it should be in game. I don't know why it's so low. Maybe it's once it's overheated RPM. I have a suspicion that might be the case because once they're overheated, they shoot a lot slower. Anyway, so he put together this sheet, right? And it was like white shield, green shield, blue shield, purple, head, white, head for white, head for green, head for blue, head for purple, right? With different shields. And his spreadsheet's just like, I don't even know what I've done here actually. What have I even done? Oh, that's because I copied it straight from his spreadsheet. That's why. But the spreadsheet goes like, it's like 1.067 seconds for the M77 against a white shield. 1.123 seconds for this. I'm just like, this is not useful. Like, this is not a useful chart at all. Like, you can't just take the. I mean, it tells you something, I guess, but like, you can't just take the RPM and look at the TTK. It doesn't tell you anything about like the guns have got different. They've got different recoils and stuff. Like,
yeah,
they work in fundamentally different ways. So I'm like, yeah, so it sort of does tell you something. So I was like, well, we really, and I'm amazed that nobody else has done this. It's the shots to kill. I couldn't find a spreadsheet of shots to kill out there. Maybe it exists now. I don't know. But I was like, that tells you, because when you look at the number, right? So for example, the numbers I just gave you. So the M77 is 1.067 seconds. And the, where's this one? Yeah, and the hardline DMR is 1.03 seconds. Sorry, 1.3 seconds. So they're they seem very close. So a second versus 1. It's like 300 milliseconds difference. Okay, sure. But in shots to kill terms, the M77 takes 9 body shots. The hardline takes 7. M77 takes 6 headshots, and the hardline takes 4 headshots. Like, to me, that's much more like, because you can kind of like, you can take, oh, okay, well, the hardline is a DMR, and it takes 4 headshots to kill them. The M77 is an AR. I've got like a kind of heuristic about like what the RPM might be. Like, what does a gunfight look like with that gun when I'm trying to like spray someone down? How hard is it to hit 9 body shots with a full auto assault rifle at like medium distance versus when I'm going to be using the hardline? Because like, yeah, it depends on like how far away you are from target, and that's going to depend on how you're going to play with that gun. Because you're not going to play the same with a DMR that you are with a an SMG. So like the TTK number doesn't even necessarily make sense. And with a DMR, you're not like firing at a max RPM most of the time either. So it's just, I was just like, I really want to look at the shots to kill. So I actually did the shots to kill. I was going to do a video about this. I've got like the shots to kill chart for myself just to look through and understand stuff. And there's just like there's so much rant. I don't know. I was like, I just got disillusioned with it after looking at all like the stats and stuff. And I was like, I should just focus on things that are actually going to do well, because I just don't think this video is going to do well. Like no one seems to really care. Like half of the gaming community just wants to like say the game's bad and hate on it, want it to fail. The other half that's actually playing it are like just busy playing the game and don't really seem to wanting to watch any videos. Like the YouTube community for it just seems very small. But anyway, on the stats, I mean, the one standout thing to me seemed to be that I don't think this is a surprise to anyone who's played a lot of Marathon, is that the Volt guns are like really good, because the mag size on them is absolutely huge.
Yes.
In comparison to basically everything else. Like I've been using, as my standard was the V22 Volt thrower, because like the basic mag on that is like 62 shots. Because I think it's it takes like
didn't know that.
It's like 1.6% or something per shot. So it's like you get like 62 shots out of this thing, and then if you're running with it, it recharges as well. Which, like I've actually really enjoyed the ammo backpack. Like the loadout that I've been enjoying is the V22 Volt thrower combined with the Magnum pistol, because that's like sick. That was when I was like, oh, I feel like I'm really making some headway against the AI now, because I could just like headshot them repeatedly, because the Magnum does 33 damage, which is like a lot more than everything else, and it does like 2x headshot damage.
Yeah, the Magnum is so
not
busted.
like a sniper rifle.
But
yeah,
see,
so you can just
be
like,
weird thing.
Boom, 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 and then I had the ammo backpack, so I'd swap back to the V22, and it would just reload the Magnum in my bag. Because for a solo, that's like really clutch, actually, like not having to reload properly. So I'm running with one, and the ammo's going up on the Volt gun, and my Magnum's being reloaded in my backpack, and then I take it out to do 3 shots on a hard enemy and put it back in again. It just reloads itself, and then the rest of the time I use the Volt thrower. Like it's cool. Like it's really sick, actually. I love the ammo backpack. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because it's just, I don't know, it's not very intuitive. Like yeah. Like, that was one thing I realized, like, okay, well, the Magnum is, like, going from the Tarkov equivalent to, like, the Taz, which is the overrun AR, to, like, an actual AK, you know what I mean? Like, because, like, the Magnum, it's got 12 shots in it, and you can one-tap the recruits with a headshot. So you go from, like, mag dumping a recruit to, dumping 25 rounds or however many rounds, and he finally dies with the overrun, to just, like, pressing M1 once and he's dead, and you can do that 12 times. But the cost of the overrun is like 5,000 or 500 credits or whatever, and the Magnum's like similarly priced, and like I just don't understand the differential. You know what I mean? It's like nothing really makes any sense in that context, and so I had to like go through, and I did my own little calculation with like DPS, because I wanted to like get some sort of like reason. I'm like, okay, why is this overrun so garbage? Because it's like, I'm guessing they made it intentionally garbage because it's a starter. Like I think it's like 10.5 damage.
It is, yeah.
Which,
and the RPM is high, the recoil's quite high, which causes problems.
Yeah, but I assume it's like they purposely made it like 10.5, because like that means it's like this many hits, and like maybe like this headshot hits. I don't know. That gun is so bad, but so my point is like, you have to find, there is a little bit of a skill gap, but like you wouldn't think that the recruits, the UESC recruits that drop like the V11 punch, that would be a good gun. That gun is amazing. I've like killed players with it. Like it does so much damage per shot. Like it's crazy.
That's like 25, I think, and then you can charge it up. I'm not sure what the charge up damage is.
I don't know either. Yeah, see, I haven't. I don't know if that's even. Yeah, I haven't. I've like used it a little bit at the start, and I was just like, doesn't really feel that good. So I just been using the regular mode, but like, the regular mode's amazing. It's like 3 shots to kill, headshot on the UASC recruits. Maybe it's 2, and you get like over 20 shots. I mean, the mag efficiency is so good
to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like there's so many things about it that just like outclass the overrun.
Yeah,
and even like the regular, like the hardline PR doesn't feel good against bots. Like it's just, there's a lot of things that just like aren't very intuitive.
Yeah,
even
I think one thing that you'd find probably quite interesting is I haven't actually filled out the whole table because, as I said, I kind of lost steam and momentum on this. But I was looking at quite a few things. So I was looking at like damage, RPM, the headshot multiplier, the mag size by default, because you can change it, and that that on its own makes the Volt weapons like completely bonkers. By the way, so like the V11 Scar, which is like the AR version of the Volt guns, that one doesn't have as much ammo, so that's got 40, which is still quite a lot. But you can get those like turbo, like null grav loader, what magazine type things, and they remove like a fixed amount off of the.
Oh, is that what that value means?
Off the like volt usage, because it's annoying because the volt battery has got 100, right, and you lose a certain amount of percentage per. The Scar is like 2.5, but one of them I think it's like minus like 0.6 or something off the thing. So it's like rather than using 2.5 per thing, it's like uses like 1.9 instead,
because
and
they're
it ends
flat
up
values. Yeah.
But yeah, because it's flat values. Oh, no, even have been 0.7 that it removed. Anyway, when I did the calculation, I was just like, oh my god, this thing ends up with like 65 shots. I was like, what? This is insane. But anyway, even with the default mag size, right? What I started tabulating was like the damage per mag.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. So you've got like the M77, which is like 380, the V75 Scar, which is 580, the BR33 Volley, which is 400, the Hardline, which is 322, the V66 Lookout, which is the DMR one, which is 750. Right? So it seems to be this, because the mag size has such a big impact. The Bully's like 350. The V22 Volt Thrower is like 1,100, like damage per mag. It's like absolutely ludicrous. And the Punch is like 550 as well, so it's super, super high. But the over on AR is like 210. Because the mag size is so low, and the damage is so low, it just like if the bots were running and I was missing a lot, I would struggle to kill like one of them, and then like stood face to face with it. I'm like, I'm screwed.
Yeah, no, actually, no. They actually buffed the max size by 5 in a very recent patch.
That might help a bit. 25 now, is it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it was garbage.
Yeah.
It was actual garbage before. I was just like,
still is pretty garbage.
I'd rather use anything.
It's garbage with sprinkles on it.
That helps. That would buff it to. Oops, we're done. Yeah, that would buff it to 263 damage per mag, which is still the lowest by far.
Yeah.
Out of all the guns that I checked, I don't have all of them, so I didn't have the ability to grab the mag size for them all. It's probably up to date now because I was looking at this maybe about 5 days ago. But I don't know. I thought that was potentially interesting at least. But yeah, as I said, I decided against making this video in the end. Also, I didn't want to put out a load of I'm still not 100% sure, and the information isn't out there, and testing takes a long time and is annoying. It's in games that don't have friendly fire, because like how are you gonna do it? You have to like stream snipe yourself in with another. You have to Q snipe in with another person. You have to try to find out whether you're in the same raid. You have to take the actual weapon in that you want to test. You then have to have the meds or whatever. You have to do it. You have to also not be killed. It's like old school Tarkov. It's really lame. And I was like, I just can't be bothered to go in and make sure that this is all correct, because when I first did the ARC one, I was like talking to various testing people who were on Reddit, and like, we with what we knew, I put together the best information that we knew at the time, but some of the information wasn't right and wasn't obvious until you tested it all, because in ARC, just harking back to that, the shooting range was bugged, and the headshot damage wasn't working, so it wasn't giving you headshot damage in the shooting range, because the
I think I remember
pop
that.
off. I think it would show you when because you'd shoot them, you get the buzz, and then it like something would pop off to show you'd killed them, and it wasn't working, and so we had to test the stuff like in raid directly with the headshots to check, and it turned out that the shield always takes the same damage and doesn't take the headshot multiplier, but your health does. So it was like, and so there was this like discrepancy between what we actually thought was the case and what actually was the case. I just did the best that I could at the time. Obviously, information came out later that stuff was a bit different, but I was just like, I want to make sure that this is right. But again, I don't know. I'd have to go and test. I have to just test it with different types of shields, and like it's annoying to figure this stuff out, because assuming and then putting out a video and then it being like wrong, it's like I just didn't really want to do that, to be honest. So yeah, so I don't know, because there's still people who very confidently, like I've watched a few other videos just to get an idea of what content people are putting out about Marathon, 20 tips you need before you get started. There's people who like confidently asserting that the Vault guns do more damage to shield.
Yeah,
And
I've
I have
heard that, and I've been.
I have
Of course,
asked
I'm
around.
skeptical.
I've asked for tests. I've asked for proof. I've had people tell me it's in game. It's written on the ammo. It is not. I'm yet to find a single piece of proof that this is in the game. I don't think it's true. I genuinely don't think it's true at this point. But many people confidently think that the Vault guns are really good. I've seen it in a lot of guides, but I've not seen it tested anywhere. I've not seen it in any of these TTK spreadsheets. Because if that's true, that changes the maths quite significantly, right? Like if you're using even a green shield, that means that of your 160 HP, 40 of it is shield, because your base health is 120 for some reason. And so if you can vaporize through that much more quickly, then like, yeah, it makes a big difference. So I don't know. I was just like, there's a lot of questions. There doesn't seem to be as much testing going on as there was for Arc. It's easier to test in Arc because you can kind of just like VoIP somebody, ask them to shoot you with a gun, test different things. Arc was also more annoying because we didn't realize that there was differing headshot multipliers as well at the beginning. Like the assumption was that all the guns did like the same headshot multiplier, but that actually also wasn't the case. Like they all had different headshot multipliers. At least Marathon tells you, which is cool. But anyway, so yeah, with like my basic, because it was easy to get, was the V22 Volt Thrower, and then either the Magnum or like just something else. Because I think the V22 it works like the Needler, right? It's like got quite slow projectiles. So you don't want to use it over distance.
Yeah, and I think
And
it
it's quite
slows
hard to get a
down
headshot
as well.
And it slows down after a while after you've shot too much. Yeah. So you kind of need two guns, really. You want something that's going to be like precision for headshots at longer ranges, and then the V22 just for like it's like a lead MG in some ways.
I've used it a bit. It's definitely pretty good. The one thing I don't like about it is because the projectiles are slow and they home like the Needler, but they, at least in my experience, if you go behind a wall, then they don't home anymore. Like you have to like stay out there and like stay on target. But I'm not positive. I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
That might be spreading information, but
and also apparently it doesn't have any headshot multiplier either. It's the only gun that doesn't.
Oh well, that makes sense. Yeah, but you can get headshots of it. But I didn't know that it had. Well, I think you can. Anyways, I could be spreading false.
It doesn't matter though because it's like a one times mult, so it doesn't actually. You don't get any more damage.
Oh, okay. Do you? Because I've you knew I would go for headshots, but yeah, that makes sense.
So you don't have to worry with that gun actually. So you just like body aimers unite.
See, I did not realize about the percentage on the Volt battery drain. That's actually huge because I couldn't make heads or tails because I was trying to use the little bar at the bottom, and it was already like low. And some of the bars are confusing.
Is that the heat? I think that's the overheating one, isn't it? I don't know. It's
I don't know. It's confusing. But the fact that you brought it up that it's flat too makes so much sense because I noticed some of the mods will increase range and they'll be flat. So like one of the ideas I had was like taking an SMG and like putting a sight that makes it increase the range and it's just like a flat 5 on the like an 18. I was like, oh, that's like a big big change. But
yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. In conclusion, for me, it's just like Marathon. I have more fun when I'm playing solo. It has its moments. It's like an okay, solid game all around. I mean, it's like I don't know. When it's like clicking, it's like okay for me. It's mainly just doing tasks. I feel like I definitely shouldn't have bought the game, as I kind of wish I had Slay the Spire 2 instead. But it is what it is. I don't want to see the game like crash and burn and them because like I don't know. There's so much beautiful art in the game. It's gonna like suck to see all that go to naught and like what could have been too. Because like it's Bungie. They do all this crazy stuff apparently. Like they already got some ARG event going on. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, it's like to open up the cryo archive, I think. You have to go to people have to go to Perimeter and like punch some data cards in or whatever, and then you have to go to Dire Marsh. I think it's on at the moment. I'm not
I couldn't be bothered, but I was like, that's cool that they're doing that, But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like such a struggle to have fun. I did have fun doing one thing. we were basically just like chain losing, and we were basically like I played the thief character for the first time, and my friend made a joke. He was like, "Tara, I think you might have to be banned from playing that character again." I was like, "Why?" Because your Luke Goblin is insane right now. Because like literally the character, her abilities are so silly. Like you scan, you have like loot vision. You can see containers and they'll be highlighted white if there's only white in them. They'll be highlighted green if there's a green thing in them and purple and stuff. So literally, I go into a building. I'm just like, as soon as I spawn in, I'm like, let's loot. You know what I mean? And then you got a grappling hook, so you got a little mobility. Okay, whatever. Which the grappling's kind of cool because you don't have to actually hit anything. You just like spawn in this grapple into like the ether, and you can grapple up. So that's kind of cool. But then your ultimate is like this drone that flies around and like shoots this like coil or like tether and hits targets, and you can open doors with it. You can open crate, but most importantly, if you hit enemies, they'll drop their most valuable loot on the ground. And what's interesting about this is sometimes their most valuable loot maybe their shield or maybe their meds.
Oh, I see.
So I
Okay,
was
that's like super troll.
yes. So what we did a fun little gimmick. We went all thief, and we waited till this fight broke out, and we sent in the drones, and we just barraged them until they were dropping their loot, and so they were like panicking. I don't know, and like one guy, because if when it drops, you have to pick it up. But you as thief, you can shoot it again, like the actual loot, and put it into the drone inventory.
Oh my god!
So I shot this guy. He dropped. Later, I found out he dropped both his meds, his shield, a stack of shield meds, and a stack of heal meds, and he dropped one of his augments. It was like blue or something, which is kind of crazy to think about on paper. You
Like
know?
that's like yeah, on the character. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like a I don't know, Helping Hands 3 or
Can it disarm somebody?
I don't. That's something I would love to find out if you go deep enough. If you just like spam. But what we want to do, I want to do that again with my friends and like just single target a guy because we actually didn't end up single. We like kind of.
Yeah.
I think because we were crashing. We had some weird bug. All of us crashed when we were moving through perimeter. Like it was insane. But yeah, no, I would love to find out. That would be so troll. It's like they drop their ammo because eventually you start getting down to the bottom of the barrel.
You got 3 frogs just like you're like, no, get off! And they're like picking up your gun, like off you goes your gun, your shield, like no, like strip this guy from top to bottom, like that's so funny.
It
How
was
easy is it to kill the
hilarious.
drone?
Well, I would say moderately easy, but if you're clever with it, you'll use. So, like, the obvious thing is you move, right? But you need to incorporate height along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I mean, you want to be like close to them because then you're like flying around. You know what I mean? And there's like a gravity to it.
Yeah, you're changing the angle a lot, so it's hard for them to react.
Yeah. So you could get crazy with it. There's also this exploit bug where people are putting claymores on the drone. And
oh my god,
it's arc raiders all over again. The fly in the drone claymore and blows. There's a clip somewhere out there where they wiped entire squad because they were like all stacked up on each other.
That's so funny.
Madness. I love it.
So funny. And I have seen some real shenanigans. Apparently, there's that one of the first Mitre upgrades where you can get like claymores on Rook. You get a stack of claymores. I've seen people just causing absolute havoc with that. You get it like Mitre level 3 or something crazy. And you can just go in as Rook, and you've got the stack of claymores, and you're just like, Rook, just blowing up whole teams with these things, like because you can play against 3 bands as Rook, can't you? So it's it sounds just mad. It sounds absolutely. I find it really bizarre that you end up with like a 2-square shield as Rook straight away, like right from the word go. Like
I'd have to say
your base character.
Yeah, I find that very weird. It's kind of fun though, because you're like when you first start out, you're pretty weak, but as you get upgrades. But like, yeah, your starter Rook is like, or Rook is just like better than your free kits. Like it's crazy actually.
Yeah. But then you can't complete your stuff, so
yeah. Well, sometimes I'll just do a Rook run just to like it'll be like a med run because you get, or like I get a couple meds, so then I'll just like loot more meds and then try to extract with that to give to my character. But yeah, it's funny. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'll probably still play with some friends somewhere here and there, but it's just I struggle having fun in that game. I'm gonna be honest. It's just sometimes it works in solos, but like squads, just we're resorting to gimmicks. And then we're gonna try the other one I thought of was like let's all go destroyer. We'll have two guys put up a shield, and we'll make like a little pixel gap so the one guy with the MG can shoot through the shields and see if that works. It's probably not gonna work, but it's just some
Yeah, maybe
stuff.
if you stagger it though, if you stagger it, like I don't know how long the
That
shield
was
lasts for. I
another
can't
thing we were
remember, but you
thinking,
got
like
first guy, second guy,
revolving door,
and then you're shooting, and then the one
yeah.
guy. So then you swap. Yeah, you swap over. He starts shooting, and then like this guy, like then you swap back in. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Apparently, to Three Ghosts is really fun. Someone said they did that once in like a random lobby, and that was a lot of fun because you're just invis causing chaos. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me
And smoke everywhere. I guess you can go in each other's smoke, right?
probably
Probably
yeah.
synergizes quite well.
Yeah.
And you all invis in each other's smoke. You bring smoke grenades as well. You got like the flying, like no. The best part about Assassin is the flying, like no fall damage thing.
I didn't even know he has that.
You can put the smoke because you can put a smoke down. It's his V ability. It only it's a passive. It's like part of his secondary, but it's an active one. But it only works if you're like jumping off a building. You can't use it normally. You have to have a certain amount of height. But you jump off a building and press V, and you like whizzes to the ground, and like a disc of smoke goes off, and you away I go, kind of thing. But it negates all fall damage, so you can just jump as far as you like. You can just like Assassin's Creed off anything.
Okay.
With this thing, which is kind of neat. It's just like an escape type maneuver, which is kind of cool.
I didn't know
like,
that.
with three of you for that, it's like be nuts.
Yeah.
And with your three ults, and like if you bring a few smokes, I will say actually, I've started bringing smoke grenades in Tarkov, and I've had some really, really fun fights. I managed to escape out of the bunker up at just like the scout bunker on woods. I managed to get out of that using smokes, which was quite cool. And one of the times I went into Smuggler's Camp on Shoreline. Yeah, and one time I went into Smuggler's Camp on Shoreline, I actually used the smokes to get in there, which is kind of neat.
Which one?
They're good now. Like the green smokes are cool. I'm using the green. You can buy them from Jaeger and Peacekeeper. You can buy up to like 10 or something, 11 in one trader reset. So I was taking like, I took like 4. I was like taking 4 or 5 into each raid. I smoked out one of the airdrops as well. Just like green smoke everywhere. It's kind of cool. People forget how to play. They don't know what to do.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, if you don't know how to handle, like what? Yeah. Nobody does this. What's going on?
The smoke's cool. Anyway.
Let me run through a couple of these games here for Steam Next Fest. Checking out a couple. All of them might not be on Steam Next Fest necessarily, but they're demos I've been playing, and I want to talk about them because they're kind of cool. So the first one, you're gonna like this game. I think it's called Black Jacket. It is a rogue-like card game that is essentially blackjack, and I really like the art style. I don't even know how to describe it. And the characters, you never really see them. You only see their hand, but they each have voice lines and like a very distinct personality. And you upgrade cards, and they do different effects. You know, and just basically you're playing blackjack. You're like stuck in, you're like a lost soul in hell, essentially. And you are like kind of forced to play other lost souls in hell. And there's like bosses and stuff. It's actually a really, you know, like you got to be really smart to play this game, I feel like, because you can look at your deck and see what cards are left, and you have different suites or suits, and on those suits, you know, like a club, the back of the card will be like a different design for the club. So I can like see, you know, oh, that's a club, and then I look at my deck and I see like which clubs have been used. And then like this card does this effect because I upgrade it, and it's like there's a lot of mechanics. I really like the game. You need a little bit of a high IQ, I think, to play it, but it's fun because you're kind of like counting cards, you're betting, you're weighing a lot of things. Sometimes like the right play is like just to like fold essentially, because like you look at what's, you know, because you got to manage how many coins. If you run out of coins, then like you're done. That runs over. So you got to manage how many coins you got. It's kind of like your health pool. and then you gotta decide like, well, based off the cards that's in my left in my deck here, like, should I like gamba? I can draw 4 diamonds, and that will get me, that will get me a high number. But everything else is a bust. It's like, it's fun. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Cool.
Good game. Another one. I'm a little bit of a sucker for roguelites. I gotta tell you about this one. Loopbound. I really like this game. I've sunk a lot of hours into it, probably like 20. It is a dungeon crawler pixel art game where you control a character. It's a roguelite, so you got like the map of the different routes. But the interesting gimmick with this one, I don't even know if it's a gimmick, I really like it. You have a inventory system that's grid based, and your rewards come in like gear, like armor, hats, and it's kind of Diablo-esque where sometimes they'll be
Yeah.
tied to classes because you have your character and you have your companions, and you have to like play Tetris. And as you get upgrades, better armor, they'll have like effects, but these effects only work if they're surrounded by weapons. So you gotta like reorganize stuff.
Oh.
And then it's like they'll be even more advanced where like this armor piece, it's like a 3x3, right? And it's like this armor piece gives these bonuses to weapons, but only on the top side of the armor. So it has to be touching like the top. And the armor will rotate after every battle. So the ultimate tryhard is like after every battle, you gotta like reorganize your thing because now the armor's
Oh my
tilted on its
goodness.
head, and so it has to touch the top of the armor, which is like
So you can't rotate these items.
yeah,
normally.
exactly. I can rotate everything else, but yeah, it's a crazy game. I really liked it. I mean, you could sink like 6 hours into a single run. It feels like the other fun thing as you progress and complete the stage, because there's one big final boss. It gives you a choice, and you essentially assemble your own final boss to face. It's like, here's your 2 crappy options. The boss now has like, after every successful attack, he gains bonus crit chance and bonus damage, or he gains evasion after every phase and increasing, I don't know, accuracy. So it's like, crap. Well, like both of these suck. Like, which one do I want to deal with? It's really fun. I really like this game. I'm excited for. I hope I get in. I like signed up for the playtest, but right now you can just play the demo, and it's like, yeah, like I said, it's like 20 hours in this thing. This thing's fun.
That's
Loot
cool.
bound. Yeah.
I love a Diablo loot system just in general.
Mm.
That's neat. I like that take on this too. That's like got nostalgia value, plus it's an interesting mechanic. Like that doesn't usually work that way, so that's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I like the art style. It's pixel art, but it's very like very high quality pixel art. Really impressed with the art. The other one, I think. Let me just double check my. Do I still have my list? Yeah. What does my list here say? Oh yeah, Poly Impulse. Okay, this one. I mean, this one's right up my alley. Poly Impulse is like a speed shooter. Like it's.
I could tell just from the graphic. Like,
Yeah. So you're like flying through gravity, the air. There's like air strafing. It's not too heavy. It's pretty light. But you're trying to shoot these orbs with this cannon, and they like jerk you towards it. And it's essentially like a time trial. Like, complete this and this under this time to get this rank, right?
it's like AIM Labs in space or something.
It's like Aim Lab speed run combined. Like it's crazy. I played it. It was really hard, but like you start to get into it because I wanted to get an S rank on everything, right? And to go for the S rank, you have to hit the bonus orbs, and they're like, you're flying around, you're like doing all these flicks and stuff, and there's like, or you're doing like the easy ones, and then there's like a flick at the bottom right of your screen, so you have to like jerk down and then back up really quick. Like it's insane. It's insane. I really like this. I should play it again. I only played it for a couple hours. I played it like one session. But
Damn,
yeah,
that looks hard.
it is hard. But you can go at you don't have to get S rank, you could do like whatever stuff. It's a fun game. If you like movement, shooting, aim labs type stuff, flick stuff. I liked it a lot. It was cool.
So funny.
two more, and then we'll wrap it up. Menace. This game, like a strategy turn-based game, and I was really surprised. I hadn't played something like this in a while. I really like this. It's set in like futuristic. It might be like Mars or something, but it's militarized. You pick your characters, you pick your squad, you have like a budget to allocate items and weapons
Oh,
and
that's
gear
cool.
to them. Yeah. Um and you do go on these missions and you gotta like complete the thing. There's like you have to like pay costs for casualties. I was really impressed with what I played. And
Hmm.
yeah, I hadn't played something like this in a while and I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah.
Nice. It's sort of a XCOM-y type, like. Well, actually,
Yeah.
no, not really. Maybe, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just like a mission-based thing.
Yeah, mission base, I don't know, there's just a lot of like things to consider. Like you could assign, certain weapons to characters because they kind of had like their own skill tree, but you didn't have to level up that character. And then if a character did really well in the mission, then they got like a bonus in the following missions. Like they would get like a morale boost or something. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a really I thought it was just a really solid game. I hadn't played something like this in a while and it kind of like scratched the itch I didn't even know I had for quite some time.
Cool.
Um lastly, okay, this one Giga I just played before the podcast cuz someone told me about this. Garden Summer told me about this one and it's called Cargo Hunters. And I told you a little bit about this one, but like it's like Forever Winter but you're the robot fighting other robots. And you like instead of like when you I don't know, this game has so much character, like it's so hard to like contextualize quickly, but it's just like you're this humanoid robot scavenging the remains of humanity on an abandoned dystopian Earth. That's what part of the description on Steam says. And it's got so much character. Like I was playing it. It's single player, right? But it's like it's an extraction shooter, third person, got shoulder swapping, whatever. But your like character, your bot, you can take off parts and put on parts, and they change certain stats. Like
Oh,
your
cool.
legs could sprint further, or you could have more armor, like HP. But then you got like your extraction Tarkov shooter stuff where you wearing like a vest and a helmet. You got your gun. But yeah, it's single player. You play the story. It's very moody. Like there was this warehouse where like this giant thing was like banging on the warehouse doors. Like I don't know what's going on. I did like I just barely did the first mission and I got to the basement and some like I don't know, very disturbing bot. It was like this giant box on the ground, right? And there's like these robotic arms and a pin just sticking out with his head. And he's like, I am the one. You will not find it. It is coming for you. Run, run, run. And then like these, freaking suicide bomber bots are just like charging at me, but they're like all corrupted and stuff. Like it's really cool. It's a single player game. Apparently it's on mobile. It's a mobile port. And I think it's a Finnish development team. I just thought for what it was, it had so much character. Like, I when someone pitched it to me, I'm just like, oh, it's a mobile game? Like, oh, so you want me to play mobile slop? Okay, yeah. All right, sure. But it's actually not like that at all. I really like it.
That's cool.
It's
One nice thing
cool.
about having robot is you're freed from upgrades. Like you can run like 5 times faster if you're a robot if you so wish. It's like this thing we've talked about previously, where like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
grounded in reality, it means you have to do certain things. You can't go crazy. Whereas if you're a robot, you got artistic license. You can place your arm with a laser if you want. Like
Yeah.
it's not out of context with the world. You have a lot more creative
Yeah.
freedom. Kind of neat.
Yep. All right. That's the games I got for this week. I got so many demos. I've been collecting them like like
Like
Pokemon or
Pokemon.
something. Yeah, it's just like it's crazy. Another one to the list.
Oh, just before we go, there's an update that's happened mid-cast. It's on Arena. Apparently, I don't know whether this is a mistake or not, whether this is actually planned, but some people were saying like, "Hey, there's a new map that's appeared on Tarkov Arena. Like, what's going on?" And they've just said Tarkov Arena Gate playtest. As you may have noticed, a new location Gate has appeared. It is currently available in checkpoint mode as in the blockout stage, an early version of the map used for rapid testing of mechanics and overall layout. And if you click into the post, it says, "We invite you to take part in the Gate playtest running until the 23rd of March. During this test, a special temporary task field testing is available." I guess it must not be a mistake then, because it's got a task for it and everything. While playing, how easy is it to navigate? Are there any issues? How would you rate the size of the map? How does combat feel? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm going to play this like block out NDA. It kind of reminds me of, this like those old Counter-Strike maps that were like orange and white. I'm sure some of our listeners will remember. I can't remember what they were called.
Yes.
They're called
Yes.
like, oh my god, what were they even called? They were called like, it was like CS Source test maps. What were their names? And it was like, what on earth were they called? Oh, there's like the orange and white like blockout maps. Is it these ones? This tile. Yeah, I don't know. We used to play some of them all the time. Yeah, they were called like maybe this was it, like dev_orp_alpha. That looks similar. They were like these weird dev maps where basically someone had just like gone and created it. They weren't textured in any way, but they were quite fun on that basis, and it was just like pure mechanics, no kind of like detailing, just pure mechanics. I think some of the Scouts Knives maps used to be like that, or like just random custom maps. Surf was a bit like that, but so the surf maps, for some reason, the surf maps just always looked like crap. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always looked rubbish. People they just put like random textures on the polygon on the prisms, and it would just look awful. For surf, always looked awful.
Yeah.
But
For the most part, yeah.
yeah, some of these other dev ones were quite cool. But anyway, so yeah, we'll go and play that if you want to play Arena. If you want to do the task for it, I don't know what you get
So
for it.
is it
like?
Is it like the Arena? Like there's just no textures on stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they said it's in blockout stage, so they're just like,
Wow.
tell us what you think about the layout, like before we've released it. Like, go and play test it.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, unexpected but appreciated.
Yeah. I bet.
Thanks for giving us some look in before you release this thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
All right then. Unless you got anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Nope, all good.
Sounds good. We'll keep pressing on. Till next week. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.